She chased after him only because she had a dream. This lifetime, she couldn't leave the bridge realm. She couldn't see the apricot blossom rain from the poet's pen. She couldn't blow the willow wind. She couldn't see the solitary smoke beyond the frontier. She couldn't see the sunrise, moonset, and stars set. She saw the outside world in her brother's books, but she couldn't see this world. Therefore, she hoped to have a child, to see this world on behalf of their mother. 3 years have passed. The affairs of the world are complicated and have long changed beyond recognition. But Lin Zaiasu still clearly remembered the lingering feeling in his embrace, the fiery passion as a member of the Li clan, and his glance back when leaving Flame City, as she stood at the highest point of Flame City, waving a gentle farewell. On her face was the stunning beauty of a newlywed. In her eyes, nostalgia entwined. Zuye, Zuye. 3 years have passed. Have your dreams come true? With great changes in heaven and earth, you could actually leave the bridge realm and see the sunrise and sunset outside. Have you watched the sunset on the Middle East land? Is there really a child by your side? Our child. All of this at this stage are only scenes hovering in Lin Zaiasu's mind. He actually couldn't see the bridge realm. Because the bridge realm itself is separate from the 17 domains of the earth realm, sealed on the other side of the circulation array. But this is better, at least after the circulation array formed, the one bearing the name of benevolence, who actually has begun to show his ruthlessness. The underworld mansion master cannot dictate the life and death of those in the bridge realm. Prince, 360 array steals have been laid, the lord of the mansion says. Now it depends on how the prince manipulates them. Lin Zaiasu slowly opened his eyes. His hand gently brushed over the array platform in front of him. An image of the underworld emerged on the array platform. The lord of the mansion's eyes instantly brightened. The residents of 300 top races, thousands of forbidden cloud zones, all presented within the circulation array. He stood beside the array platform, like the heavenly Tao of the earth realm. This is the lord of the underworld. This is the pinnacle of power he sought all his life. What Buddhist path, what Zen principle at this moment, none of it matters at all. Lin Zaiasu's right hand lightly tapped, and 300 points of light appeared out of nowhere on the array platform. Each light point was a sickle. The sickles simultaneously penetrated the mountains and rivers within the array. With a soft whiz, 300 mountain peaks were simultaneously destroyed. Blood mist floated within the array platform, some golden, some crimson, some azure, some silver, and some pitch black and lightless, the aura in utter chaos. The entire array platform instantly filled with the aura of all top races in the underworld. This was their vision. But in the eyes of the 300 top races of the 17 domains of the earth realm, it was experiencing heavenly punishment. A heavenly scythe descended from above, wiping out the sacred lands of their tribes, killing the elites within their tribes. Countless great powers gathered from all directions, each with a look of panic on their faces. What happened? Heavenly punishment. What is this for? Oh heavens, what is this for? Shouts of rage. In the sky above the earth realm, a figure of infinite shadowy depth suddenly appeared, standing in the void. All races of the earth realm, heed my words, I, the lord of the underworld from this day forth. For those who obey me prosperity, those who oppose me perish. The entire underworld, countless beings raised their heads, faces filled with terror. Underworld Mansion Master. The most top-tier races, of course, knew the Underworld Mansion Master. For years they each managed their own affairs, the lord of the mansion unable to reach them, when had he truly governed them. Yet today, the mansion master's Dharma body hovered in the air, like the heavenly Tao with a casual blow. He destroyed their sacred ancestral mountains. Chapter 1083. Chapter 753, Half-Taoist Master above Tiangxin Pavilion. Not kneeling yet, the Lord's voice sank, resembling rolling thunder. Thump! All races knelt together, greetings to the Lord. Beside the array platform, the Lord lightly flicked his hand. A pile of underground spirit stones emerged through the array and fell into his hand. Finally, a smile appeared on his face. This one flick represented the Lord taking over Lin Zaiasu's demonstration baton, thereby acquiring control of the circulation array. From this moment he, as the Lord of the Underworld, truly became the Lord of the Underworld. To all beings in the earth realm, he is the heavenly Tao. Prince Ding's array path I concede, the Lord laughed heartily. I hope the Lord will not forget the agreement with me. Lin Zaiasu also smiled. Amitabha, naturally, the Lord clasped his hands together. Haha, how smoothly identity switched between Lord and Buddha, Lin Zaiasu laughed. I have an unsolicited request, and hope the prince will agree. To not reveal your identity to the world, is it? Amitabha, precisely. Lin Zaiasu bowed slightly. Buddha, rest assured we shall part here, each keeping our roles, each finding peace. Farewell. Light and shadow flickered before his eyes. Everything in the earth realm vanished into thin air. Before Lin Zaiasu, the familiar meditation room appeared again. The Buddha bowed, safe travels, benefactor. Lin Zaiasu turned and left the Zen room. Outside, Bodhi tree leaves were fluttering again. In the midst of yellow leaves, he stepped out of Puji Temple. A bell rang behind him. All the mountains fell silent. Under the sunset he turned back. Puji Temple stood solemn and sacred. Lin Zaiasu gently smiled and entered Fan City. The sunset in Fan City was serene and leisurely. On the tavern, wine flags fluttered in the wind. On the street, pedestrians walked leisurely. In the brothel, fragrant handkerchiefs were enticing. Above the Changsan Pavilion, the sound of silk and bamboo. Next to Changsan Pavilion was that inn. Saintess Kyan Ling opened the door to her chamber. In the sunset, her husband walked over with a libertine stride. A gentle embrace, the door closed by itself without wind. Inside the room, a lantern flickered like a beam. Its light changed color silently. How did it go? Saintess Kyan Ling glanced over the lantern light, her eyes settling on Lin Zaiasu's face. Everything went as expected. A good start, Saintess Kyan Ling gently exhaled. Not a start but an end. All goals have been achieved, Lin Zaiasu said. An end? Saintess Kyan Ling's eyes widened. You acquired the Earth Tao's top-tier race bloodlines, 108 of them. Not 108, but 300 kinds. Saintess Kyan Ling was completely petrified. The 1,000-mile pursuit sought the true form of the Lord of the Underworld, but she knew his ultimate goal was to acquire 108 top-tier Earth Tao bloodlines through the Lord of the Underworld, to prepare for his 3 flowers gathering at the top. She knew how difficult this was. Just as her father said, it was something simple to say but entirely unfeasible to execute. The top-tier underground races, none were simple. Trying to acquire even one bloodline was unimaginable, let alone 108 kinds. In her imagination, her lover getting close to the Lord of the Underworld, through complex manipulation, might have hope of sneaking into the Underworld, through a long adventure, gradually gathering 108 top-tier Earth Tao bloodlines. But that was a tremendously complex, lengthy adventure, an enduring, complex game. But he was away only for 7 days and nights, and now he tells her he has already harvested top-tier bloodlines, not 108 kinds, but all 300 kinds. Husband, how did you do it? You must explain clearly, otherwise I will definitely overthink, and tonight you'll have no wife to play with, really. Saintess Kyan Ling even learned to act coy. Lin Zaiasu laughed. I set up a great array for the Lord of the Underworld, covering 17 domains in the underground world. All top-tier races are included. To awaken the underground races, respect and obedience to him as the Lord, I thoughtfully chose 300 peaks, using array power I harvested. He gave an explanation. Saintess Kyan Ling felt her brain CPU was smoking. She knew he sought 108 bloodlines from the Lord of the Mansion. However, how could she have thought it would be collected in such a way? Assembling a great array for the Lord of the Mansion. This was the gift he gave the Lord of the Mansion. The Lord of the Mansion, unless truly devoid of desires, could never refuse, because managing the underground races was the Lord of the Mansion's greatest obsession. Who could imagine that Lin Zaiasu himself had hidden motives? The hidden motive was leveraging this array to harvest the underground top-tier races and acquire their bloodlines. With the great array in hand, the underground world was entirely covered. Those on the array platform were akin to the heavenly Tao within the underworld, let alone 300 bloodlines, all the underground world races. Bloodlines were at his whim. In the presence of the Lord of the Mansion, he harvested the top-tier races, bloodlines, and the Lord of the Mansion had to express gratitude. Because in the eyes of the Lord of the Mansion, this was the array setter testing the array's power and helping him establish authority as the Lord. It was thoughtful. Your real needs can never be placed on the negotiation table, so what needs did you place on it? Saintess Kyan Ling's mind spun 100 times, finally arriving at another topic. Lin Zaiasu replied, I was candid about my origins and proposed a trade. I build the great array for him, and he gives me a promise. During the great calamity of that year, the underworld will remain passive and not add to the human clan's troubles. During the calamity, if the underworld truly remains inactive, the human clan's crisis would really be halved. Did he really make that promise? Saintess Kyan Ling frowned slightly. Of course, Lin Ziasu smiled gently. Both needs at face value and hidden needs have been secured. Wife, your husband now has a slight sense of swelling pride, needing a place to settle. Chapter 1084, Chapter 753, Half-Taoist Master above Tiangxin Pavilion 2. All the thoughts of Saintess Kyan Ling were led astray as he carried her to the bed. He placed an expanding object into position. The next morning, Saintess Kyan Ling awoke from a dream as languid as a spring night. She habitually turned over, not falling into her lover's arms, and opened her eyes to see Lin Ziasu sitting by the window. In his hand was a cup of tea, a smile on his lips, quietly gazing out the window. Outside, dark clouds gathered. This year's snow season had already arrived, especially in the westernmost land, where the snow season usually preceded Jiangnan. Saintess Kyan Ling stepped her slender foot off the bed, and with that step, her entire attire was in place. Gracefully approaching, she reached from behind to embrace her lover. "Husband, what are you looking at?" "Look," Lin Ziasu held her hand, pointing outside the window. Outside, Tiangxin Pavilion stood in the early winter wind, and behind it, a light fog swirled. Within the light fog, Zen River flowed gently, presenting a beautiful oil painting. After descending from Puji Temple, it should be your strategic maneuvering against this half-Taoist master, Saintess Kyan Ling remarked. You've acquired 300 top-level bloodlines of Earth Tao. Is your cultivation sufficient to contend with her? Lin Ziasu gently shook his head. Still not enough to contend, still need time to adapt, Saintess Kyan Ling said. Why not wait for a while? Lin Ziasu smiled. No need to wait today, I shall lay it all out with her. Then, Lin Ziasu smiled mysteriously. The strategic maneuvering with her is not to defeat her, but to let her kill me. Saintess Kyan Ling was shocked. Why? Because I need to offer her a trophy. What? Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Saintess Kyan Ling's eyes widened suddenly. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Of course she also knew of it. In ancient times, when the heavenly, earthly, and human paths contended, facing Kangyuan and the top cultivation sects of the desolate ancient realm, the final human Emperor Kun used the three-character bone book human volume, with Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, to activate the circulation array, severing the connection between heaven and earth, granting peace to the human path world for 1,000,000 years. Since then, Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, the three-character bone book human volume, became the most concerned terms for remnants, including her. Yes, remnants, she too was once a remnant, a cultivator left in that world. In that realm, borrowing Catherine's physical body to re-enter the sunlight, she too had constantly searched for the three-character bone book human volume, searched for Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. However, how high-end these divine artifacts are. Nine-headed snake had laid out a plan for hundreds of years over the world, yet gained nothing. Even though she is a remnant, she has no clue about these divine artifacts. These divine artifacts are coveted by even her. But is it just her? In that world's great calamity, many understood it as chaos caused by the cultivators of this world invading and contesting for divine artifacts. And today, on this morning, her wholehearted, unreserved husband is telling her, I plan to give Emperor Kun's kindling lamp to the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face. Do you really intend to give the kindling lamp to her? Saintess Kyan Ling gently sighed. Yes. Why? The kindling lamp in that world is a source of calamity, and in truth, it's the same in this world. Lin Ziasu lightly smiled. Giving her the kindling lamp is like sounding the death knell for Heart Tao. Saintess Kyan Ling was stunned. The kindling lamp, source of calamity, is faulted with it. Possessing it invites disaster. And this heavy theory leads into Heart Tao. His target has never been the famed beauty of the three ruins, planning the shocking half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face. His target is Heart Tao, one of the 6 paths. This is his audacity. This is his breathtaking maneuvering, turning the clouds, covering the rain. Kindling lamp, the supreme divine artifact sung for millions of years. Saintess Kyan Ling took a deep breath, murmuring, May I have a look? Wait a moment. Lin Ziasu smiled lightly. handing her a cup of tea. Saintess Kyan Ling held the cup, took a sip and finally couldn't help asking, "Wait for what?" "Waiting for the kindling lamp to be delivered." Saintess Kyan Ling's eyes widened again. "Who delivers the kindling lamp?" "I do." As the words fell, Lin Ziasu stood up, walked to the door and reached to open it. The door opened, revealing a travel-worn young man at his doorstep. Saintess Kyan Ling watched in a daze. Lin Ziasu waved his hand, closing the door. His hand gently rose, fingertips glowing with light. A blue mark floated from his fingertips, marking the young man's forehead. This was the heart seal that the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face quietly projected onto him, the most magical law of positioning. Lin Ziasu could force it out. He forced it out and implanted it in the young man's body before him. The young man's face began to slowly change. Became another Lin Ziasu. This Lin Ziasu raised his hand gently. An ancient, time-worn, neither gold nor wood peculiar lamp appeared in his palm. "Have a glance, then I'm taking it away." His voice was identical to Lin Ziasu's. Saintess Kyan Ling looked at the lamp, her eyes closing gently. That Lin Ziasu turned and left, steps graceful. The door closed. Inside, Lin Ziasu extended his hand, embracing Saintess Kyan Ling's waist. Saintess Kyan Ling slowly opened her eyes. "Husband, is that doppelganger your one hiding within the Wandu sect?" That day in Zhou River, traveling by boat, encountering a cultivator in purple beyond Jai San's level. Saintess Kyan Ling speculated about this person, possibly the 10,000 poison sect master Li Xinyu. Lin Ziasu flatly denied, "It's not her." "Why?" He told her, "I have a doppelganger currently within the Wandu sect, thus I am very clear about Li Xinyu's movements." Now, with the doppelganger carrying the kindling lamp appearing, it is evidently his within the Wandu sect. Indeed, Lin Ziasu candidly confirmed. With it here is the matter on the Wandu sect side settled. Chapter 1085, Chapter 753, Half-Taoist Master of Tiangxin Pavilion Part 3. Lin Ziasu smiled. The Wandu sect is already eliminated. Eliminated? Saintess Kyan Ling was completely shocked. In my dictionary, the ancient sects are also divided into different ranks. Other sects might be of use to me, but only Wandu sect and Heart Dao must be annihilated, because the Wandu sect has crossed the line of my Daxia, and Heart Dao, as long as it exists, will remain a shadow over that world. I know that. I'm not talking about your reason for destroying it, Saintess Kyan Ling said. I'm asking whether the famous Wandu sect of the 19 celestial beams is truly eliminated. Haha. Lin Ziasu laughed. So what if it's one of the 19 celestial beams? I directly controlled Li Xinyu and the Great Elder, launched the mental path battle, and with the help of the mental path, beast taming sect, and Heart Dao, how difficult was it to eliminate them? 3 days ago, the last batch of Wandu sect masters were completely killed at Daixin Peak under my leadership, and 10 obsessions of Heart Dao made a move, already leveling Kishin. Saintess Kyan Ling's lips slightly parted, unable to say a word. It turns out this was the answer to the mystery, lately puzzling those on the cultivation path. No one could understand why the Wandu sect, as a towering beam in cultivation, was so irrational, insisting on a death struggle with mental path. Even if they had to kill 1,000 enemies at the cost of 1,000 of their own. Even if they shook their own foundation, they remained oblivious. Now she understood. This was her lover's strategy. His ultimate goal was to annihilate Wandu sect itself. Would he care about the loss of Wandu sect's foundation? Would he care about the battle damage to mental path? First controlling Wandu sect, then issuing commands through the Lord and Great Elder, ordering the entire sect to strike madly, the ultimate result being mutual destruction between mental path and Wandu sect. Now Heart Dao acted to truly eradicate Wandu sect. The ancient world, the 19 celestial beams, thus became 17.5. Yes, the Wandu sect is removed, and mental path is already half dead, at most counting as half, maybe leaving only some scraps. What is top-level scheming? It is even if you are 19 celestial beams, I still make you non-beam. She always was a once-in-a-generation heavenly pride of the spirit clan. She had seen too many historical figures with charm, but who was like him, truly altering the heavens with a mere flip of the hand? Just like that grandiose line in her poetry collection. With a feather fan and silk scarf, heroic spirit exudes. In the midst of laughter, sails and beams vanish into smoke and ashes. Tiangxin Pavilion in this season, fully displays its charm. Su Yuan sat on the soft couch, watching the thin morning mist casually disperse. Her expression was so lazy and weary, as if everything in the world was merely the drifting clouds outside her window. A parrot on the windowsill preened its feathers in the sunlight, occasionally letting its gaze rest upon the infinitely beautiful figure within. He, too, was once a peerless heavenly pride of the demon clan. Had he not met this astonishing beauty, he might have been a generation's demon emperor or even demon venerable, ruling a domain, or even the entire region. But destiny mocks people. He met her. Having met her, he feels all his endeavors across heavens and earth are meaningless. He wishes nothing more than to be by her side every day. Even if her pavilion welcomed countless men over the millenniums, he had once been mad with jealousy, yet he still couldn't bear to leave. As long as she remains, as long as her gaze occasionally falls upon him, he feels all the time spent together is worthwhile. Suddenly, Su Yuan's eyes opened. In the instant those eyes, which stirred the soul of the demon clan's heavenly pride, opened, the parrot on the windowsill trembled slightly in its heart, having a premonition that she was about to welcome another in her intimate circle. Not only did he have this feeling, Su Yuan sensed it too. She was about to welcome another in her intimate circle. Yes, she intended to open her body, comforting herself for the many days of bustling about. This young prince possessed the ancient sect body refining technique, and his body should be incredibly robust, most noteworthy. He was also a man of unparalleled literary talent. How could she miss such a man? Even if to eliminate him, it wouldn't prevent enjoying the pleasures of the mortal world with him before his demise. Youth are vigorous and willing to exert themselves, a completely different feeling from older men. She hadn't tasted the vigor of youth for many years now. Sensing the heart seal, she left, approaching slowly. She felt as if spring was drawing nearer step by step. Prepare some dragon bone wine, Su Yuan instructed the parrot. The parrot's wings lightly trembled, lifting its gaze, eyes somewhat complex, truly coming. Even offering dragon bone wine, this dragon bone wine, once men drink it, are generally bedridden for 3 days and nights. But he is a seasoned licking demon. He can't voice his opinion, he complies. Under the guidance of a maid, Lin Zaiasu gently parted the hanging curtain on the top floor of the pavilion, and saw a scene that made his heart sway. Outside the window, the Zen River resembled an ink landscape. By the window, Su Yuan was like a fairy from a landscape painting. Every inch, every aspect was an existence that enchanted hearts and intoxicated souls. Young master truly came. Su Yuan gracefully rose, resembling a frail willow in the wind. The lady sincerely invited. How could I dare not come? Lin Zaiasu replied. Young master, please sit. Lin Zaiasu sat beside her. This wine is my favorite. Why don't you try a taste? Su Yuan lifted 2 cups of wine, its color rosy, its aroma refreshingly striking. Lin Zaiasu took the wine cup, sampling a sip lightly. Just one sip, a surge of fiery passion suddenly rose from deep within his bones. The Su Yuan before him, her delicate body leaned slightly. Young master, how is this wine? With these 6 words, a faint fragrance enveloped his nose, his entire body directly transformed. Chapter 1086, Chapter 753, Tiangxin Pavilion's Upper Half Taoist Master Part 4. Miss, is this wine your favorite? Lin Zaiasu asked. Yes, Su Yuan also drank from her cup. Amidst her unparalleled beauty that no painter could capture, there was suddenly a hint of intoxication. The distance between her and Lin Zaiasu had shrunk from the initial 3 feet to a mere breath away. You really like such a scene, miss? Lin Zaiasu's eyes seemed somewhat confused. And what about you, young master? Do you not like it? Su Yuan, as if unable to hold her liquor, leaned half her body on his shoulder. This slight tremble was enough to dismantle all of a man's defenses. In the tavern room just across the street, Saintess Kyan Ling stared into Lin Zaiasu's eyes. Husband, how is it? Lin Zaiasu extended his hand, wrapped it around her waist, and pulled her onto his lap. Ah, what has gotten into you? Saintess Kyan Ling blushed deeply. Just had a cup of wine, quite strong, sweetheart. Your husband needs some comfort. Oh my, just watching the show could stimulate you that much, Saintess Kyan Ling said. Go to the bed, transfer your stimulation, and don't let yourself lose control and mess around with her. She was pragmatic and could think of a solution by involving herself directly to relieve pressure on that doppelganger. In Tiangxin Pavilion, the beauty gradually fell into embrace. The parrot turned its body. The top maid withdrew. The room seemed to turn into a perfect night. The script seemed to reach the verge of the red line. Su Yuan also seemed to have let everything go, focusing on the thing she was infatuated with. However, Lin Ziasu gently smiled. Half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face, 7,000 years old and still fancy this tune. With a swish, the parrot by the window turned around. Su Yuan's intoxicated eyes suddenly widened, looking at Lin Ziasu with disbelief. Lin Ziasu held the wine cup, a very obvious sneer on his face. As a promiscuous individual, liking this tune is within reason, but for Song Yilan, the once world-renowned reincarnation Tao master, to also have such preferences. What do you mean? Su Yuan sat up sharply, the blush on her face, the intoxication in her body, disappeared without a trace at this moment. All right, your mental path has studied me, Su Lin, enough. Of course you know I'm not a fool, Lin Ziasu said. In fact, I certainly am not. My study of you is no less than your study of me. Silently, the layout of the room changed completely. No longer was there a cozy and dreamy bed. No longer was there a delicate and frail beauty. There was no longer red wine, no more romantic ambience. There were only dark clouds covering the sky, a pavilion braving the wind. At the entrance, Lin Ziasu sat quietly, and inside the pavilion a woman slowly turned her head. Behind her there was a scene of chaos. At her feet a green lotus bloomed. She was like a venerable heavenly immortal, overlooking Lin Ziasu below, with boundless killing intent in her gaze. This is more like it, Lin Ziasu slowly stood up. As he stood, the frivolity from before vanished completely, replaced by a spirited battle intent. How did you see through my true form? Su Yuan said coldly. Lin Ziasu gave a faint smile. When I started manipulating the Wandu sect to eradicate the mental path, I was already prepared for the fatal blow from the mental path. And the most effective method the mental path could use against me was the beauty trap. And at that moment, your visage as half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face naturally appeared in my mind. Su Yuan's face turned livid. Manipulating the Wandu sect to eradicate the mental path. Was that really your doing? What else? Did you really think Li Xinyu was that foolish? Su Yuan sighed lightly, as if blowing away the black lines on her face with one breath. Was she not foolish? Willingly being your piece, fantasizing about using Kang Yuan's power to break through the poison sect, and ultimately, the Wandu sect has already perished. It's true that the Wandu sect has been destroyed, but what about her? She's alive and well. Have you considered that the destruction of the Wandu sect was an agreement between her and me? Chapter 1087, Chapter 754, Borrowing Kang Yuan's blade to eliminate the Heart Dao calamity. Su Yuan's eyes were ablaze with light, taking a deep breath. It seems that after killing you, I must capture her and ask her properly why she became an idiot. Haha, after killing me. Lin Ziasu laughed loudly. Su Yuan, since I plan to reveal my cards, do you think you still have a chance to leave Fan City alive? Su Yuan quietly watched him. Lin Ziasu smiled while looking at her. Su Yuan laughed, her smile like flowers blooming, the undefeated flower. Her voice came, carrying an indescribable mockery. Prince Ding, walking in Jianghu, is accustomed to control, revealing your cards before me, obviously prepared, so do you rely on that little spirit clan girl or her father? Or Kang Yuan heavenly aura? Can I choose all of them? Lin Ziasu said. You can certainly choose them all, but sorry you can't choose any. Su Yuan pointed her delicate finger outside. Take a look. Lin Ziasu's gaze rose, and the scenery outside the pavilion changed completely. No longer Fan City, no more Puji Mountain, no Zen River. There was only a vast green sea, boundless. His face suddenly changed. Cluck, Su Yuan laughed. Your Excellency said you'd keep me from leaving Fan City, but you never thought my Tangxin Pavilion has a unique skill, traversing the 6 paths of reincarnation in an instant, sealing off heaven and earth. Even the heavenly Tao cannot predict. Prince Ding can't send out a call for help. Your external reinforcements can't even figure out where you are. Lin Ziasu's gaze slowly withdrew, his eyes frosty. Who says I can only rely on external help? With a swish, the long sword was unsheathed. Once the sword was drawn, time and space were frozen, yin and yang separated, causality connected. It was the dazzling sword life is unpredictable, Su Yuan had witnessed from a distance that day. Su Yuan laughed even more joyfully. So you rely on this sword. Unfortunately, I have taken half a step past that step. This sword means nothing to me. As her voice fell, a green lotus bloomed at her feet, spitting out a stamen. When the stamen emerged, it blocked the sword tip. The radiance scattered in all directions. Lin Zayasu's sword against her was like a spring breeze. Lin Zayasu's face changed. With a flick of the stamen, Lin Zayasu suddenly felt himself become a grain of dust, about to be swept under the flower root, becoming fertilizer for it. This was not a difference in law, but a generational gap in cultivation itself. She stepped half a step onto that step. It was already the pinnacle of cultivation. If that step were completed, it would completely transcend the cultivation path. So, Prince Ding, who boasts to have a strategy for every situation, what other cards do you have? Su Yuyan seemed fully integrated into the flower, her voice omnipresent. You forced me to this. Lin Zayasu's face contorted. He suddenly raised his hand, and a lamp like a bean appeared in his palm. Once the lamp emerged, light scattered. The flowers floating towards him suddenly evaporated into green smoke. An overwhelming power not belonging to this realm enveloped the pavilion. Su Yuan exclaimed, Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Indeed, Lin Zayasu's face grew infinitely solemn, like a reincarnated human emperor carrying the kindling lamp forward. I didn't plan to use this card on you, but if you force me, so be it. Let this world tremble under the human emperor's lamp. Human Tao True Skill Square Inch, activate. As his 8-word mantra was proclaimed, Emperor Kun's kindling lamp rapidly expanded. However, it only expanded to square yard before suddenly stopping. Lin Zayasu's expression full of pride once again solidified. Cluck, ha, Su Yuyan laughed. Can't figure out why your lamp isn't working. That's because you still don't know where you are. Lin Zayasu's gaze lifted, staring at the pavilion. The pavilion's form entirely changed at that moment, transforming into a remnant seal. Cracks covered the seal, yet each space brimming with the essence of the reincarnation road. Reincarnation Tao Seal, Lin Zayasu shouted in surprise. You know I am Su Yuyan, and know the reincarnation Tao Seal was destroyed because of me, yet didn't expect I transformed the reincarnation remnant seal into the reincarnation pavilion. Su Yuyan laughed. On the reincarnation road, dynasty changes have happened countless times. What power does the human emperor's mark hold? Moreover, your human Tao True skill is only partly understood. Want to use Emperor Kun's kindling lamp to capture me. And yet you unwittingly deliver a timeless divine artifact to me. How laughable that is. Lin Zayasu trembled all over. This lamp belongs to Kangyuan. Do you dare to take it? Kangyuan, Su Yuyan laughed. Good that you know my path gained Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. The next step is to annihilate Kangyuan. The 9 heavens and 10 earths will respect none but me. Poof! A flower spun and emerged. The kindling lamp in Lin Zayasu's hand flew up and landed in Su Yuyan's hand. Another flower dropped onto Lin Zayasu's forehead. Boom! With a slight sound, Lin Zayasu's body vanished without a trace. With a soft sound, the pavilion below transformed into shimmering fragments and merged into Su Yuyan's brow. A gigantic parrot traversed the void and appeared beneath her feet. The giant wings flapped, ascending through the clouds. Inside Fencheng Tavern, Saintess Qian Ling screamed. Her mind was blank. Lin Zayasu whispered, I died. You rotten scoundrel husband, I was just killed by you, really dying. Saintess Qian Ling bit his lip. No, I meant I died truly, Lin Zayasu said. Wife, where is your mind wandering? Saintess Qian Ling suddenly sprang up, wrapping her arms around his neck, her serious expression contrasting with her current action. Your battle with her has concluded. Yes, that avatar died. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp was taken by her, Lin Zayasu said. With a swish, Saintess Qian Ling sprang up, and at that moment, as her infinitely beautiful body like leaves spreading out, clothes appeared from nowhere. Chapter 1088, Chapter 754, Borrowing Kangyuan's Blade to Eliminate the Heart Dao Calamity, Part 2. Lin Zayasu also sat up, extending his hand as a set of clothes donned him, precisely his Rui ancient vine robe. What's your next step? Saintess Qian Ling handed him a cup of hot tea. Inform Kangyuan. Saintess Qian Ling's eyes suddenly brightened. Borrow a tiger to drive away the wolves. Borrow a knife to kill. Yes. Will Kangyuan take action? The heart Tao proclaims, Heavenly Tao holds the center. I hold the left. It's the most spirited path beneath the heavens. If it holds a supreme divine artifact that can resist Kangyuan, Kangyuan will face a great upheaval unseen for 1,000,000 years, and thus, Kang Yuan absolutely cannot allow the kindling lamp to be smoothly controlled by the Heart Tao Master. Every step you take from now on will be exceptionally crucial. Saintess Kaian Ling took a deep breath. I can't interfere with you. I must return to Spirit Ruins. All right. Father has promised that the Spirit Clan will fight for you as one, Saintess Kaian Ling said. Where the battlefield is set, I await your news. Lin Ziasu extended his arms, pulling her into an embrace and deeply kissed her. Thank you, my treasure. I'm leaving. Saintess Kaian Ling gently withdrew from his embrace. The next moment, with a movement of her feet, flowers bloomed all around, and she disappeared without a trace. Lin Ziasu moved his feet, disappearing from the inn. The next moment, he vanished from Fan City. An hour later, he appeared above a vast green sea. This sea, the West Sea. Upon the West Sea, the waves were calm. Lin Ziasu's gaze lifted, looking towards the sky as he raised his hand holding a jade pendant. True Yuan activated. The jade pendant, like the calm surface of the West Sea, dropped a few drops of dew. The dew expanded outward, revealing another space. The sky infinitely lofty, a towering giant tree. Under the tree stands a pavilion. An incredibly beautiful woman's face appeared within the jade pendant. Hopefully, you're not just bored, really intending to chat with this girl. This person is Duamukan. Back then, she gave this jade pendant to Lin Ziasu only because Lin Ziasu told her, if there was news about the kindling lamp, it would facilitate timely communication. Therefore, this jade pendant had to be given. However, the words this guy said at that time still alerted Duanmukan somewhat. What did this guy say? He said, now that our relationship has improved, it's possible to chat with the pendant during restless starry nights as confidants. Could it be that today this guy is really itching? No time to chat with you, the situation is extremely severe, Lin Ziasu said with a gloomy face. I obtained Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, was going to send it to Kang Yuan, but it was snatched away. What? Duanmukan suddenly jumped up. Listen clearly, Lin Ziasu said in a deep voice. I already have Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Just now, within this space, I was ambushed and the kindling lamp has fallen into someone else's hands. Who ambushed you? The half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face in the Heart Tao, once Song Yilan's red face, Su Yuyan. Duanmukan's face turned ashen. Her heart was already in turmoil. Though she lacked the Heavenly Tao Wisdom Eye and Human Tao Orchid Heart, being nicknamed Heartless. Yet she was the only daughter of the Lord of Kang Yuan, her starting point unmatched in the world. How could she truly be a fool? She understood what Emperor Kun's kindling lamp signifies. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp carries human Tao power. If held by the third obsession, it can activate human Tao true skill, forming the might of square-inch heavenly Tao. What is square-inch heavenly Tao? Within a certain range, it is the heavenly Tao. This is the supreme divine artifact that can easily slay the third obsession, including True 3. This is the supreme divine artifact that can challenge Kang Yuan. Falling into the hands of ordinary sects may not be significant, but instead, it fell into the hands of the Heart Tao. The Heart Tao's connections within the mortal world are no longer a secret. Within Kang Yuan, the Heart Tao has long been listed as the top monitoring target. Lin Ziasu's arguments at the Elder Council were repeatedly mentioned. Zhu Zhai's Heavenly Tao holds the center. I hold the left. Astounding declaration also gradually became the label on the Heart Tao. Now this supreme divine artifact, forming a deadly threat to Kang Yuan, falls into the Heart Tao's hands. If Heart Tao smoothly controls it, the earth-shaking transformation is imminent. Stay where you are, this girl is coming immediately. Duanmukan waved her hand to cut off the communication. The next moment, she appeared before a quiet room. Inside the quiet room, the Yuan Master's eyes suddenly opened. The entire Kang Yuan seemed to tremble slightly. A quarter of an hour. Above the West Sea, a window suddenly opened. Whoosh! 8 figures appeared simultaneously. 5 men and 3 women. Meijiu Liu Yi Lu Wan Li Lun Yin Shisen He Yuan Ferry Zixia and Dumukan. Brother Su, he's right here, Meijiu spoke. Yes. The light flashed in Meijiu's eyes, time reversed. The scene that just occurred here was clearly displayed before everyone's eyes. This is a high-level application of time reversal. Previously, Lin Ziasu was unable to do it. His time-space reversal could only let him personally see past events, unable to make others see. Of course, that was in the past. After entering the realm, his time law formed a Tao fruit. He could freely capture past events, as if recording them. At this moment, it was Meiju who was controlling the time law. The moment the image appeared, it froze when a lamp appeared. This lamp, with 13 facets, its light emitting an aura transmitted through time and space, the 13 human emperor virtual shadows when the lamp was activated, all clearly pointed in one direction. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, no mistake. Lu Huayan's eyes suddenly opened wide. He practices causality, not only observing with naked eyes but also with causal guidance, confirming the lamp's authenticity. The image transmitted sound, Lin Ziasu's loud cry. This lamp is the property of Kang Yuan, how dare you take it? Su Yuan sneered coldly. Kang Yuan, I'll teach you about it. Thus I acquired Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. The next step is to annihilate Kang Yuan, the 9 heavens and 10 lands, only I reign supreme. Capitulo 1089, Chapter 754, Borrowing Kang Yuan's blade to eliminate the calamity of Heart Dao, Part 3. Such boldness, Duanmukin shouted angrily. Knowing it's my Kang Yuan divine artifact, yet you dare to snatch it and even utter wild words, intending to annihilate my Kang Yuan. Fellow brothers and sisters, at the halfway point, I shall see how much ability Hongfei and Su Yuan have. Kang Yuan Liui raised a hand, forming a void fissure. Below the fissure lies a high mountain deep in the cloud sky. Meiju blinked, withdrew the time law and turned to Lin Ziasu. Brother Su, how are your injuries? Thank you, Brother Mei, for your concern. They're not serious. Lin Ziasu took a deep breath. Let's go. The 9 stepped into this spatial fissure. As they entered the fissure, Li Lun turned back for a glance. This glance was extraordinarily complex. The same scene unfolded before the 8, each with different focuses. The other junior brothers and sisters only paid attention to the kindling lamp. Yet he saw something else. Reincarnation Dao Seal. The kindling lamp was ineffective because it was beneath the reincarnation Dao Seal. Though this reincarnation Dao Seal is already broken, lacking the great Dao across the sky power, it still holds some residual power, enough to suppress Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Witnessing the broken reincarnation Dao Seal in the hands of the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face, he finally believed what Lin Ziasu said that day. He stated, this half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face is the former confidant of reincarnation Tao Master Song Yilan, Su Yuan. She enticed Song Yilan into the demon ruins with the reincarnation Dao Seal. It's a vast conspiracy. Her goal was the loss of the reincarnation seal, thereby assisting the Heart Dao in breaking the gate and entering the Tao. This grand plan was overly wild, and even though Lin Ziasu pointed it out at Kang Yuan, people of Kang Yuan remained skeptical. But today, the broken reincarnation Dao Seal appearing in this half-Tao Lord's hand confirms all the suspicions, ironclad facts. With the reincarnation Dao Seal missing, the heavenly Dao is imbalanced. At best, this main practitioner of reincarnation law, a heavenly elite, faces a dead end. At worst, it blocks all paths for the third obsession, as the incomplete heavenly Tao multiplies the risk of taking that step, making it nearly impossible over the millennia for anyone to take that step. Damn you, Heart Dao, what a meticulous plan you have crafted, truly pushing forward your grand scheme. Heavenly Tao holds the center, I hold the left. With such Heart Dao, why not completely bring them down the Dao platform today? For one's path forward. For the heavenly Dao's beings. Of course, also for Kang Yuan. These were the thoughts of this heavenly elite within moments. And the others? Duan Mukan's focus was a bit off. She concentrated on Lin Ziasu's showcase skills. Why this focus? Because the young lady's anger is still unsettled. She fought with this kid in Kang Yuan that day, a fight that became a classic battle discussed among Kang Yuan's younger generation. Despite possessing 11 great divine powers, she couldn't defeat Su Lin, which she considered her lifelong shame. Throughout the 6 months since Su Lin left Kang Yuan, she had been cultivating madly, progressing rapidly, achieving a breakthrough after a 1,000-year slumber, currently surpassing the second vessel, a 10-fold improvement from that day. Yet seeing this kid's performance in front of Su Yuan was truly unimpressive. It seems the kid's progress during this time has been quite limited. If she were to fight him again now, beating him into a pig's head should be a given. No reason to strike him at present, instead she'll spar with Heart Dao masters, let the kid see firsthand, make his legs cramp so he never dares oppose her again, wiping clean the shame of falling flat right after emerging. No one realized the Lin Ziasu who died under Su Yuan's hand was merely a clone, because the Kang Yuan Heavenly Aura Elite had heads held high. They only believed what they personally created, only trusted their inner constructs. If Lin Zaiasu presented something to them, their minds would be bombarded with questions. However, everything before them wasn't presented by Lin Zaiasu. It was achieved through their unparalleled divine skills. Meiju controlled the time law, personally demonstrating the great divine power of the time law, the secret plot beneath their noses clearly unfolding, attracting their full attention to Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. The shocking plot occupied their minds. Who could have imagined Lin Zaiasu, suppressed layer upon layer by Su Yuyan, was scheming something more? Halfway point. The name is quite reserved. Judging by name alone, it seems less imposing than the mental path. The Heart Gate headquarters is named Daixin Peak, while the Heart Tao headquarters is simply halfway. Those unaware of the insider details might think Heart Tao is inferior to Heart Gate. But once you understand the true meaning of halfway, you'll be astounded by Heart Tao's ambition. What is half Tao? I shall take half of the world's Tao. Who gets the other half? Given to the heavenly Tao. This is an alternate interpretation of heavenly Tao holds the center, I hold the left. Today's halfway point, all elders are torn and conflicted. Due to the recent frequent major events. Earlier, Heart Tao and Heart Gate were exposed. Countless secret information was released by the Great Wilderness Dynasty under the dynasty's name, sparking worldwide denunciation aimed at Heart Tao and Heart Gate. The high platform Heart Tao painstakingly constructed over millennia swayed precariously. Ordinary sects dare not directly launch attacks against them, yet there are always some senseless sects in the world, such as the Wandu sect, launching a direct assault on the Heart Gate with unstoppable momentum. Amidst the bloody battles and intense confrontations for half a year, the Heart Gate suffered severe blows. Capitulo 1090, Chapter 754, Borrowing Kang Yuan's Sword to Eliminate the Heart Tao's Calamity, Part 4. However, following the final battle 3 days ago, the situation presented a mixed conclusion of joy and sorrow. The sorrow lies in the destruction wrought by those madmen of the poison sect upon Heart Tao. It's a calamity that may never be recovered from, with the foundation nearly obliterated, leaving only a name behind. The joy is in ultimately sweeping away the poison sect, avoiding Heart Tao's worst fear of Kang Yuan protecting Kishin. Why did Heart Tao keep enduring when Heart Sect was under severe attack? Why didn't they step forward to protect Heart Sect immediately, instead choosing the indirect path of using the beast taming sect? It was all because of the fear that Kang Yuan stood behind the poison sect. Heart Tao did not dare confront Kang Yuan head-on. Hence, as long as Heart Sect's foundation did not suffer complete annihilation, Heart Tao remained indecisive. It wasn't until Daixin Peak faced a fatal threat that they realized if they did not act, Heart Sect would truly be lost. Heart Tao could endure no more, gritted their teeth, steeled their resolve, and acted. Upon acting, the anticipated protection of Kishin by Kang Yuan did not materialize. Kishin was completely leveled. The Heart Tao Master and all the high-level elders of Heart Tao could rest assured. They glimpsed the clear skies beyond this perilous confrontation. The confrontation with the poison sect indeed was heavily damaging, but the rainbow after the storm was exceptionally bright. The poison sect, one of the 19 celestial beams, being easily eradicated by Heart Tao. What message does this send to the Jianghu? Dare to offend Heart Tao, and you will be exterminated even if far away. Just 9 words. Breaking the sign of the poison sect alone was enough to intimidate the entire cultivation path. This was the gain for Heart Tao. On halfway point, the high-level elders sorted through gains and losses, untangling tightly strained nerves stretched for so long. But behind halfway point, in a secretive space on halfway beam, a real surprise awaited. Taoist Lord Hongfei turned on the beam, his eyes bright as spring waters. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, did you really get it? Behind him, Su Yuyan smiled pleasantly. Taoist Lord, please look. She flipped her delicate hand, and a lamp like a bean blossomed before her. 13 faces, each depicting a human emperor's phantom, a wondrous human path aura that made this disrupted beam seem whole, reaching to the distant starry river. Taoist Lord Hongfei gently extended his hand and took the lamp. Profound aura slowly enveloped his entire being. As his primordial spirit delved into it, everything seemed ordinary. This truly was the last human emperor's Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. With this lamp, his path is extraordinarily vast. With this lamp, he even fears not Kang Yuan. Heart Tao, the great Tao he created over 1,000,000 years, will go far and rise high. Yue Yan, you are indeed this Lord's lucky star. 7,000 years ago you brought the achievement of breaking through and entering the Tao, and today, with you, this heavenly Tao finally has the path to dominance. The Taoist Lord sighed lightly. The Taoist Lord is about to become the common ruler of the world, and what about me? Su Yuyan asked with a smile. Your path of flower today serves this Lord's purpose. Your desire path tomorrow will be sought by all beings. The desire path, it sounds quite unbearable. Yet one cannot doubt its existence. Human desire is everywhere. The great Tao of desire is in truth deeply rooted in the human heart, spreading throughout the world. Su Yuyan, entering the Tao through desire, has wandered between beds and cradles for thousands of years, maneuvering through the cold eyes of orthodox cultivators, but she too has ambition. Her ambition is to assist Heart Tao Master in becoming the common ruler of the world. At the same time, relying on this person to achieve her desire path. She will bring the desire path into the 6 paths. She, Su Yuyan, will be the desire Tao Master. The final move has already begun. Today, she accompanies this future common ruler of the world along her path of flower. What is the path of flower? Those who understand know. Hongfei stands atop the beam, a turn like a crane soaring in the sky. Su Yuyan smiles sweetly, her clothes like petals fluttering in the wind, her path of flower, akin to a beautiful landscape beneath the thin fog, subtly revealing the marvelous charm of Jiangnan's waterside lands. Capitulo 1091, Chapter 755, The 7 Heavenly Elite Accuse the Heart Tao. Suddenly, above the void heaven, a heavenly window opened out of nowhere. Hongfei raised his head abruptly, and with just one glance, his face already changed. On the halfway point, countless elders simultaneously looked up. In their line of sight, 8 human figures appeared. Each one bore the presence of an outer heaven immortal monarch. Just as the silhouettes appeared beyond the heavenly window, the next moment they suddenly crossed infinite space and landed on the halfway point. The great elder stepped forward, who dares to. Swish! A willow leaf descended in the void, carrying endless mystical mechanisms of the space law. The willow leaf hovered before the great elder's nose, like a celestial breeze, dissolving all the great elder's dignity. Kang Kangyuan Liu, the great elder's lips trembled. Beside Kangyuan Liu, a person stepped forward with a casual wave. The elders who had just flown up from various places were suddenly all suspended in the void. The wind ceased, dewdrops stopped dripping, and time stood still. The second elder's heart suddenly skipped a beat. Time Law, May, Heavenly Elite May Jiu. Another person stepped forward, and the entire halfway point suddenly became a yin-yang grid, transforming everyone into flies within the yin-yang grid at the same time. Yet another person shook their hair lightly, and the world seemed to step into a bizarre causality. A woman smiled gently, and with her smile, the entire mountain of flowers bloomed in full fury. The world seemed extraordinarily strange. Another woman's face darkened, and the clouds and mist at the mountain's edge instantly transformed into a chaos sea. Kangyuan, all 6 heavenly elites of Kangyuan have arrived. The great elder trembled all over. May I ask what has happened? With the opening of the heavenly window, he already realized that those who arrived were not ordinary. They must be above the 3 elders. No one spoke, but 6 of them each displayed a skill. With this display, space, time, causality, yin-yang, life, chaos all converged. The identities of the visitors were fully revealed. Surprise. They were the 6 Kangyuan heavenly elites. The Kangyuan heavenly elites, each could govern a path but 6 together, never seen in the ancient wilderness. The leading person slowly raised his head. His eyes were like 2 extraordinary gateways, containing endless reincarnation secrets. He was precisely Li Lun, who mainly practiced the reincarnation law. Out of the 7 heavenly elites, they gather the heavenly Tao 7 techniques. But there is also a hierarchy among them. Not ranked by the heavenly Tao 7 techniques themselves, but by the sex rules, sorted by age. Li Lun was ranked 3rd in the entire heavenly elite lineup, but first among the 7 when they appeared together. He always led. With just one glance from him, the great elder felt as if he was drawn into the reincarnation road. His heart trembled. This person had just not made a move, but he was the lead in their lineup. He too was a heavenly elite. Reincarnation heavenly elite Li Lun. Li Lun said indifferently, "You are not qualified to speak with us, Taoist Master Hongfei, come out." At the utterance of the last three words, it was like a heavy gateway pushed open in the void. Beyond the gateway, it was indeed the halfway beam. Very few in the Heart Tao people have seen scenery above the beam with their own eyes, but today, Li Lun just uttered three words, and the halfway beam of the Heart Tao sacred land appeared before him. On the halfway beam, Taoist Master Hongfei slowly turned around, with a galaxy stretching behind him. Beside him, a woman with a veiled face appeared as if viewing flowers through fog. It was none other than the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face. All 7 heavenly elites have gathered, unheard of on the cultivation path. Taoist Master Hongfei smiled slightly. What earth-shaking event might have occurred? Duanmuken took a step forward. Hongfei, the person beside you dares to seize the Kangyuan divine artifact, spouting wild words, attempting to destroy our Kangyuan truly lawless. Today, let's see what you are capable of. As this step landed, the halfway point quaked fiercely. All the elders were shaken in mind, including the 3 elders. Su Yuyan's heart suddenly leapt, stirring immense turmoil. What's happening? Conspiracy exposed. Exposed so quickly. How could this be? The reincarnation Tao seal should have isolated the world's detection, killing Su Lin to silence. No one theoretically knew of her action to seize the kindling lamp, or the details at that. Why did this woman speak, as if she had just witnessed the scene firsthand? What link went wrong? Taoist Master Hongfei's mind also surged with great waves. Seizing the kindling lamp, he had a path to rival Kangyuan, but it was not yet time. The kindling lamp just obtained, he had no time to merge with it. It's deadly. Various thoughts flowed in his mind, but his face showed no panic, only a slight frown. Who might this young lady be? This is the 14th heavenly elite of Kangyuan, Duanmu Tiangang, Li Lun replied. Duanmu? Hongfei's heart sank. The surname Duanmu is rare in the world, but he knew someone with the surname Duanmu, and this person is the one he fears most in his life, the Yuan Master of Kangyuan. Kangyuan originally had only 13 heavenly elites, now there are 14, and bears the surname Duanmu. She is the Yuan Master's only daughter, the one who patches the heavenly Tao for Kangyuan. Su Yuyan took a step forward. Heavenly elite Duanmu speaks, Taoist Master's companion seizing the Kangyuan divine artifact and uttering wild words. I wonder who is being referred to. Naturally it's you, Su Yuyan. Duanmuken pointed a finger straight at her nose. At the mention of Su Yuyan's name, let alone Su Yuyan herself, even those in the Heart Tao were shocked in their hearts. They did not know who this mysterious half-Tao Lord was, but Duanmuken did. Su Yuyan. Was she really the confidant of the former reincarnation, Tao Master Song Yilan? Nonsense, you, Su Yuyan coldly rebuked. Her voice was suddenly cut off, because beside Duanmuken, a person suddenly appeared out of thin air. This person raised his head, as if delivering a heavy blow to Su Yuyan's chest. Capitulo 1092, Chapter 755, The 7 Heavenly Elite question the Heart Tao too. Clad in snow-white clothes, handsome and debonair. It was none other than Su Lin, who had just died at her hands. Lin Ziasu gave a cold smile. Su Yuyan, do you really think that after seizing the Kangyuan divine artifact, you can encounter no challenges? We just came from the West Sea, and Heavenly Elite Meiju has already replicated all of your actions. Your arguments are futile, just confess. Meiju remained silent. He raised his hand slightly, projecting the replicated images into the air. Everyone on the halfway point was stunned. Seizing Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, they could fully accept it. Seizing it from King Ding Su Lin, who had a deep enmity with the Heart Tao, and killing Su Lin to silence him, this they could fully accept. But this kindling lamp belonged to Kangyuan. The nature of things had changed. The last words of the half-Taoist master brought disaster. No wonder Kangyuan's 7, oh no, 8 great heavenly gang have all arrived. The Heart Tao pointed its aim straight at Kangyuan, intending to destroy Kangyuan. How could Kangyuan not dispatch a super-powerful group upon learning of this? Seeing this lineup earlier, they could already predict today's significant event. But who could have foreseen it would be this significant? In the blink of an eye, it had come to the point of a face-off between Kangyuan and the Heart Tao. Today's halfway point became an actual test of survival in an instant. Su Yuyan felt faint, a wave of darkness covered her vision. She sensitively captured something amiss, but for the moment couldn't quite figure it out. All she could do was argue forcefully, for every point she made was a point gained. Nonsense, it's all nonsense. This image, it's his conspiracy. Yes, it's his conspiracy. Su Lin, the scoundrel, used the Heart Dao to extinguish the Wandu sect, and now he wants to use Kang Yuan to extinguish the Heart Dao. Heavenly elite of Kang Yuan, you must not be his chess pieces. This image is completely forged by him. To see if it's forged, just look if the kindling lamp can be found on you. Duan Muken's foot made contact. The halfway point collapsed with a boom. She punched the void, aiming at Su Yuan. The great Dao seemed to be obliterated inch by inch under her punch. The entire world was reduced to this single punch. Because this punch was the Destruction Fist, one of the 13 great divine powers of the heavenly Dao tree. On the halfway beam, the wind and clouds shifted abruptly. Su Yuan's veil, like thin mist among the stars, was shattered by the Destruction Fist. Seeing this punch about to shatter her unparalleled beauty that enchanted the world. Suddenly, Su Yuan stepped forward half a step. With just half a step, a lotus appeared in front of her. With the lotus emerging, a purple light beam like a bridge extended before her. Boom! The Destruction Fist, carrying the might of destruction, struck the bridge, yet the bridge remained unmoved, and the destructive force couldn't cross beyond the bridge. Behind the bridge, Su Yuan elegantly brushed her hair with her fingers. Step half a step forward, have you? Duanmuken said coldly. Harmonization palm. That step only half a step. That half step was the ultimate sublimation of cultivation. The Destruction Fist could no longer extinguish her Dao, so harmonize with it. Duanmuken's 5 fingers on the fist spread apart. 1 finger rose, flames blazed fiercely. 2 fingers rose, torrential floods surged. 3 fingers rose, a forest of trees grew. 4 fingers rose, the vast earth spread. 5 fingers rose, gold chi span across. The 5 fingers came together, and the 5 elements Dao was born. With a screech, the bridge in front of Su Yuan crumbled. This was the harmonization palm, ranked first among the 11 great divine skills for its sheer power. Lin Ziyasu's eyes gleamed. This lady broke through the second vessel. Her combat power was 10 to 100 times stronger than before. Even the peerless face of Su Yuan among the 3 ruins showed some panic. She pursued the Dao of desire. She stepped half a step after the 3rd obsession. However, it was only half a step beyond the pseudo-3rd step. Moreover, she excelled in genuine combat in intimate settings, not on battlefields. Just 2 strikes, and she knew Duanmuken before her was a formidable enemy. Avoid her edge. Win with finesse. Her feet moved, swaying unpredictably like flower branches, mirroring the basic pattern that bewilders all living beings, the flower step that leads countless top powers into wild fantasies with just a glance. Yet with just 1 step, Duanmuken appeared before her, and her myriad step techniques couldn't withstand Duanmuken's unfathomable move. Great inference step, even Taoist Master Hongfei was moved. Swoosh! Duanmuken pointed a finger at Su Yuan's brow. As the finger extended, the heavens fell silent. It was the star annihilation finger, the most decisive of the 13 great divine powers. Under the threat of the star annihilation finger, Su Yuan was truly shaken to her core. While inside, Duanmuken was filled with satisfaction. Boy, did you see that? The Su Yuan who left you helpless, unable to escape despite using all your trump cards, is now like this under my hands. Will you still dare to be arrogant in front of me? Yet just as a hint of pride crossed her mind, the scene before her changed suddenly. A broad avenue of green light peered. She took half a step into this avenue, and a tremor from the spirit platform made Duanmuken's entire body tense. Her gaze suddenly lifted. Across the river that appeared like an avenue of green light stood Su Yuan. In the river, like a venerable heavenly immortal, was Taoist Master Hongfei. Taoist Master, the master of the force of a Dao. This green river was his Dao. Heart Dao. Within the Heart Dao, all spirits were extinguished. With this green river as a barrier, she couldn't kill Su Yuan. However, swoosh! A willow leaf sliced through from behind. Thud! The green avenue split in 2. Kang Yuan Liu struck, severing the Dao in 1 move. Even facing the Taoist master, he could still stand against him. This was the true Kang Yuan heavenly aura, capable of challenging the Taoist master on equal footing. Taoist Master Hongfei's face darkened. Liu Tiangang, do you truly wish to oppose me? Taoist Master Hongfei, now is not the time to protect your subordinate, behave yourself. Kang Yuan Liu walked gracefully, his presence unfolding in the space he had cleaved apart. Capitulo 1093, Chapter 755, 7 Heavenly Elite Judge the Heart Tao Part 3. Though Kangyuan is strong, it cannot disrupt the heavenly Tao, said Taoist Master Hong Fei. I am the master of a Tao under the direction of the heavenly Tao. My Tao domain, even if it's the Kangyuan heavenly aura, cannot be casually trespassed. As his voice fell, in his palm countless water droplets surged from King. Each droplet seemed like a heart, and countless hearts surged like a spring tide, confronting the space formed by Kangyuan Liu. Suddenly, a long laugh rang out. Tao Master is enthusiastic. Let your Tao domain try the space and time double kill. The laughter echoed. All the surging droplets suddenly became motionless in the void. Meijiu stepped into the battlefield. Space and time double kill. Taoist Master Hong Fei's face changed drastically. His heart Tao emerged, making cultivators on the cultivation path shake with fear. For this heart Tao King who could obliterate all beings. Anyone who trespasses will die and their path will vanish. However, the space-time law is so arcane. The space controller can freely alter the surrounding space, causing your heart Tao's mighty power to exile to another space. The time controller can also freely determine time. In the realm of illusion and reality, the person you see may not even be of this moment but a temporal shadow traversing the river of time from past and future. How can you lock it? With their cooperation, no Tao Master could resist. However, a Tao Master still has something hidden for emergencies. 2 heavenly aura join forces, so I must teach you a lesson, the Tao Master grimly said. Tao Seal arise. With a rumble from King, a heart-shaped Tao Seal rose from the water. As the Tao Seal appeared, it soared above the head of Taoist Master Hong Fei, and from his brow emerged a 6-eared left holder. The left holder wielded the Tao Seal, which emitted endless waves of glimmer, like tides sweeping towards Liu and Meijiu. Under Meijiu's time law, everything was initially static, but once the Tao Seal appeared, time resumed. Liu's original space had clouds that could not be crossed, but the Tao Seal's glimmer instantly shattered all space. The Tao Seal, bestowed by the heavenly Tao. It's a token granted by the heavenly Tao to cultivators for mastering a certain Tao, carrying the supreme dignity of the heavenly Tao itself. How can cultivators disrupt the law? Even if you're the time or space controller, you cannot go against the heavenly Tao's order. On the halfway point, the heart Tao Elder's heart was pounding. When the battle began, none of them could interfere. They could only watch as the Taoist Master alone stood against the 8 great heavenly aura. Even the supreme Tao Seal had been forced out. Was the intention to destroy the Kangyuan heavenly aura, to completely enrage the Kangyuan. However, what happened next proved them wrong. Li Lun took a step forward. Since the Tao Seal is out, there's no need to think further. Kangyuan's 6 heavenly aura heed the order. Present. 7 laws unite, destroy the path. Swoosh. A sword emerged from King. Liu plucked the void into a sword, space sword Tao. A sword rose above the sky, carrying the ancient longing of 100 generations with boundless desolation. Meijiu's time sword Tao. Clang. A sudden sound amidst King. A burst of chaos within the chaos, green lotus bloomed, Fairy Zixia's chaos sword Tao. A stream of light brushed past He Yuan Fairy's fingertip, accompanied by her smile, life sword Tao. Lu Wyan struck, linking cause and effect. Yin Shisen moved, Yin Yang split. Li Lun raised a hand. The reincarnation sect opened, turning the eternal cycle into a reincarnation sword. 7 laws unite, breaking through the heart Tao in unison. 7 laws unite, 7 laws unite, equates to heavenly punishment. Heart Tao Elder's face turned pale. Su Yuixin's heart, which she had just put down, suddenly leapt. Only now did she truly understand. What was the meaning of Kangyuan, mobilizing the 7 heavenly aura today? The 14 heavenly aura of Kangyuan were all unrivaled in talent, yet these 7 were the most crucial. These 7 are precisely those before her. Because they grasped the heavenly Tao 7 techniques. The 7 had not appeared simultaneously in 10,000 years, but today they all appeared at the halfway point, ready for Taoist Master Hong Fei to activate the Tao Seal. The Tao Seal, none could face it alone, but the 7 laws unite was heavenly punishment. Would a chance encounter in Jianghu really lead to the extinction of the heart Tao? The realization of her recent pride, would it truly bring such a painful consequence? Roar! A palm spun out. It was Duanmu Ken's harmonization palm. Duan was singularly focused on capturing Su Yuixin. Previously reprimanded by the Tao Master, she couldn't cross the Heart Dao River. But now, with her senior brothers and sisters targeting the Heart Tao Master to pinpoint their attack, she found her chance. With one great inference step, she reached Su Yuixin, raising her hand for an all-destructive harmonization palm. With a tremendous shock, the ancient strange flower surrounding Su Yuixin dissipated completely. She retreated a kilometer away, her face blushed. This mighty strike had evidently touched her true defense. Duan roared furiously. Her entire body transformed into a giant blue wheel, spinning forward the rotating chaos. This move was indeed another great divine power, chaotic heaven wheel. Disrupting all paths, crushing all beings. Under the chaotic heaven wheel, Su Yuixin's hair flew high. Her Tao practices sliced away layer by layer like her garments. In an instant, the chaotic heaven wheel was in midair, crushing downward with the force of the sky. Su Yuixin roared, "Do you really think I fear you?" With the shout, a semicircle Dao seal soared across the sky. Cracks spread across the Dao seal. It was indeed the reincarnation remnant seal. Boom! Duan chaotic heaven wheel that disrupted Zhou Tian collided fiercely with the reincarnation remnant seal, and in the next moment, Duan groaned muffled, falling into the abyss. Under the abyss, it resembled the eternal reincarnation road. If she enters reincarnation, it signifies death in combat. Her great inference step suddenly activated, forcibly stopping at the last moment before nearing the reincarnation sect, her back drenched in cold sweat. Capitulo 1094, Chapter 755, 7 Heavenly Elite Question The Heart Dao /4. Su Yuixin's palm flipped, revealing a fragmented reincarnation remnant seal, forcibly connected by unknown links, exploding with its final power, opening a strange portal behind Duan. This portal was endlessly deep. Duan heart turned icy cold. Reincarnation Tao Seal. Damn your ancestor, Song Yilan, you pathetic sycophant. Dying is not regrettable, leaving behind your broken seal to kill me. Just then an ancient peak suddenly rose from the ground, blocking the reincarnation gate. On the ancient peak, a figure suddenly turned. It was none other than the appearance of Lin Zaiasu. Lin Zaiasu swung his fist backhanded, striking the reincarnation Tao seal. Su Yuixin laughed madly. In such a battle you, a tiny ant, dare to intervene. She had the right to disdain Lin Zaiasu, because just recently, she had defeated Lin Zaiasu with a casual blow. At this moment, she had unleashed her strongest power. How could this small thief possibly withstand it? Unexpectedly, as her voice fell, a blue planet suddenly ascended above Lin Zaiasu's head. With this punch, its power was increased tenfold. Boom! The reincarnation Tao seal shook violently. Su Yuixin also trembled all over. No, impossible! She shouted in disbelief, because the force of this punch surpassed the Lin Zaiasu she had just defeated 100-fold. Break! Lin Zaiasu roared. He thrust his right fist. On his right fist, the 7 laws united, the sword heart attached, and the blue planet above began to rotate. Bang! A muffled sound echoed through the sky. The reincarnation Tao seal shattered into pieces. Su Yuixin's sea of consciousness went blank, her wheel platform completely disrupted. Slash! A sword flew in. This sword was the life is unpredictable that Lin Zaiasu had once demonstrated before her. At that time that sword seemed terrifying, seemingly containing time and space, dividing yin-yang, filled with cause and effect. However, it was hollow and impractical. Su Yuixin just stepped out half a step, and it disappeared without a trace. But now the same sword, how could its power compare to the previous one? Time stood still, space was chaotic, yin-yang divided, cause and effect were bizarrely linked, unavoidable, unstoppable. Sword light swept by, Su Yuixin's eyes widened. Endless emotions flowed across her beautiful face, shock, suspicion, unwillingness. Thud! Her breathtaking beauty shattered into fragments. The fragments were swept into the chaotic flow of time and space, turning into blood mist. Her primordial spirit was also swept into the turbulent flow, bewildered. Lin Zaiasu's inner space coalesced. The scattered fragments of the reincarnation Tao seal silently entered his inner space. Until there was no omission left, he took a deep breath, slowly turning back. Behind him, Duan stared at him blankly. You could have actually defeated her. Why? Why did you let her take advantage? This was the point of confusion. The power he displayed just now was astonishingly overwhelming. With such power, Su Yuixin definitely couldn't have succeeded easily. However, above the West Sea, he was defeated by Su Yuixin, losing to her the human emperor's lamp. Why? This was the question rising in Duanmu Kan's mind. Lin Zaiasu said, "The one that clashed with her that day was just my primordial spirit split body." Split body? Duanmu Kan's eyes brightened. Others may not know he has a primordial spirit split body, but how could she not know? She was the one who dealt with it personally. So it was a split body. The split body couldn't rival Su Yuixin, but the original body could. It made sense. However, Duanmu Kan still had a question. Why did you plan to send the Emperor Kun's kindling lamp into Kangyuan, but use a split body instead of your original body? Two answers, Lin Zaiasu said. Want to hear the true or the false one? Tell both, Duanmu Kan's eyes flickered. The false answer is, I was a bit overconfident, thinking that even if it was a split body, there aren't many who could stop me from sending the kindling lamp to Kangyuan, Lin Zaiasu said. And the true answer, Duanmu Kan asked. The true answer is a bit personal. I was busy enjoying the pleasures with a woman, indulging in her exquisite body. It had to be the original body. With a split body, I couldn't get past that mental hurdle, Lin Zaiasu seriously said. Capitulo 1095, Chapter 756, Severing the Heart Tao. Duanmu Kan slowly bit her lip. Could it be that both answers are false? The real reason is, you're still guarding against Kangyuan, afraid that once Kangyuan obtains Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, he'll destroy you effortlessly, so you dare not venture into Kangyuan with your true body. Ahem. Lin Zaiasu softly coughed. Don't overthink it, look over there. I reckon Taoist Master Hongfei probably still has a trump card. Guessed correctly, changing the subject is also possible, but you need to have some common sense. 7 laws unite is equivalent to heavenly punishment. What other trump cards could Hongfei have? Duanmu Kan pursed her lips but still turned back. Looking back, she saw the joint attack of the 7 heavenly elite. 7 laws unite. Transformed into a gigantic palm holding up the sky, pressing down from above. The Heart Tao Long River under this giant palm seemed like a dead river. The mark on Taoist Master Hongfei's forehead showed cracks. He also transformed into his true form, a 6-eared left holder. Suddenly his hand lifted sharply, an ancient lamp appeared in his palm. What is heavenly punishment? Human Tao true skill, square-inch heaven. Golden light shot up. The giant palm in the sky abruptly stopped. Kangyuan Liu suddenly raised his head. His expression changed dramatically. The expressions of the other 6 heavenly elite also changed simultaneously. They finally saw the most important divine artifact they had been pursuing, Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. However, what they witnessed first was the terrifying aspect of Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. Using human Tao true skill to form square-inch heaven. Within this square inch, the lamp holder is the heavenly Tao. Even if the 7 laws unite, so what? 7 laws unite is only equivalent to heavenly punishment, but square-inch heaven is the heavenly Tao itself. Hongfei chuckled sinisterly. I didn't intend to reveal everything to you all so soon, but today you forced my hand. Very well, first I will kill your 8 great heavenly elite, then point my sword at Kangyuan, suppress. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp spun suddenly. With that spin, time, space, causality, reincarnation, yin and yang, chaos and life. All 7 laws were in disarray. In an instant, the 7 of them completely lost their sensing power over the laws, as if they had entered a different space. They all felt a chill in their hearts. This is the power of square-inch heaven. Duanmu Kan was greatly shocked. Kill. The whole person turned into a chaotic heaven wheel, crushing towards the 6-eared left holder in the sky. However, left holder merely swung his sharp claws, sending Duanmu Kan tumbling into the abyss, her entire body suddenly engulfed in red lotus sinful fire. However, there were signs that no matter how strong she was, it was utterly impossible to rescue the 7 heavenly elite under Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, plus the Heart Tao Long River. Haha, no wonder everyone is vying for Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. This lamp combined with my cultivation is truly... The 6-eared left holder's wild laughter ceased abruptly. Because at that moment, Emperor Kun's kindling lamp in the sky suddenly went out of control. Instead of following the path he set, it flew towards a certain place, where a man appeared out of thin air. It was Lin Zaiasu. Lin Asu gently beckoned, and the kindling lamp severed Hongfei's control, flying into his hand like a swallow returning to its nest. As the kindling lamp left, the giant palm in the sky reformed, bringing a suffocating pressure overwhelming the heavens. Hongfei's face changed dramatically. Come back. His sharp claws tore through the void, reaching for the kindling lamp in the sky. The kindling lamp flickered into Lin Asu's hand. Lin Asu's figure suddenly soared. Boom! He punched out. With this punch, Lin Asu flew 100 miles away, but Hongfei's sharp claws were also sent recoiling. The giant palm in the sky came crashing down. The punishment of the heavenly Tao truly descended upon Hongfei's head. The six-eared left holder let out a fierce roar, shaking the void heaven. The heart Tao seal in his hand shattered to pieces. The heart Tao long river beneath the seal also shattered to pieces. Almost simultaneously, countless elders, spirit platforms before and after the halfway point trembled wildly, falling to the ground. The seal shattered. The heart Tao sect was no longer the Tao. The practitioners relying on the heart Tao all suffered heavy blows. Liu Meiju and the others staggered in the air, nearly falling. As they stabilized their forms, each of their expressions turned abnormal. Who could have imagined that the 7 heavenly stars of Kangyuan, renowned throughout the world, would have such an experience of nearly crossing Ghost Gate? The chaotic heaven wheel formed by Duanmu and rolled to the top of Lin Asu, suddenly transformed, landing in front of Lin Asu, her chest heaving intensely. How did you do it? Lin Asu laughed. You missed asking me one question just now. What? You know I faced Su Yuyan with a clone and was destroyed by her in one palm. You forgot to ask me whether this clone's primordial spirit was also destroyed. Lin Asu said. Duanmu gently closed her eyes, taking a deep breath. The clone's primordial spirit wasn't destroyed but was hidden within Emperor Kun's kindling lamp. At the critical moment, launching an attack, severing Hongfei's control over the lamp, correct? Yes, the primordial spirit was hidden within the kindling lamp. He couldn't be deceived for long. If given enough time, he would certainly discover this primordial spirit, so I summoned everyone as quickly as possible. Lin Asu's gaze passed over Duanmu shoulder, landing on Li Lun's face. Li Lun stepped up to him. Brother Su, your meticulous thinking and precise arrangement, I am truly impressed. Brother Li, you're too kind. Lin Asu raised his hand, offering the Emperor Kun's kindling lamp to him. Everyone's hearts skipped a beat. Having just witnessed the power of this legendary divine artifact, everyone felt apprehensive. If Lin Asu didn't hand over the kindling lamp, it would still be a very troublesome matter. But he now directly handed the lamp to Li Lun, without the slightest hesitation. Brother Su Yu. Back then I promised Yuan Master in person to give Emperor Kun's kindling lamp to Kangyuan. Though there were twists and turns, ultimately, I did not fail my mission. Please, Brother Li, accept it and pass it on to Yuan Master to fulfill the promise of the past. Li Lun raised his hand to receive it, the primordial spirit in the kindling lamp moving to confirm its authenticity beyond doubt. Capitulo 1096, Chapter 756, Slaying the Heart Tao Part 2. He took a deep breath. Lin Asu raised his hand to stop them. My fellow brothers and sisters, no need for formalities or thanks. I shall take my leave now. With a step, the yin-yang step emitted. The next step, destination unknown. Leaving the 8 of them looking at each other. Brother Li, were you planning to be courteous just now? Willow Leaf gently exhaled. Of course not, actually. I wanted to ask him a question, but he probably guessed it, so he quickly blocked my words and directly left. Li Lun gently sighed. Zixia's eyes sparkled. Brother Li wanted to ask about the reincarnation Tao seal. Reincarnation Tao seal. Li Lun took a deep breath. Though this seal is of great importance, it is ultimately broken. A broken seal cannot become Tao, it is merely a high-end magic treasure, and he handed over such a precious divine artifact lamp. If we keep dwelling on this remnant seal, it seems, forget it, just forget it. 1,000 miles away. Lin Asu stood atop the mountain peak, squinting as he looked southwest. Above the sky, the clouds opened and closed. A bright green avenue split beneath his gaze, vanishing into nothingness. Heart Tao destroyed just like that. Kangyuan heavenly aura did not pursue. All plans until this point were truly smoothly completed. He wanted only 2 things. First, to destroy the Heart Tao. Second, to reclaim the reincarnation remnant seal. Heart Dao, he destroyed it with Kang Yuan's power. Reincarnation remnant seal, he also got it. Li Lun was right. Seeing the conflict on Li Lun's face, he knew Li Lun would mention the reincarnation remnant seal, so he quickly left some noble words, blocked his mouth, and then left. Leaving like that, Li Lun did not pursue. That signifies success. No matter how high one's position, there should be some basic human principles. He played a key role in the whole battle, saving the lives of the 7 heavenly elite under Taoist Master Hong Fei, and afterwards handing over Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, casually taking a damaged mark as a trophy. Who would dare oppose? At that time, no opposition. Afterward, even less likelihood of going back. Some may not understand, isn't it just a damaged mark? Is it worth such effort? Indeed, this reincarnation Tao seal is broken, at best functions as a high-end magic artifact. But in Lin Ziyasu's eyes, it is not that simple. This remnant seal is connected to the world's grand scenario. At this stage, it is worth 10,000 times more than anything else. Even more valuable than Emperor Kun's kindling lamp by 10,000 times. Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, its appearance frightened everyone, yet in Lin Ziyasu's mind, its weight is less significant. Worldly affairs, such a mystery. Reincarnation sect, in front of the reincarnation platform. Gu Jian Yaochen stood atop a mountain peak. Chang Feng passed by, his hair flying. That strand of hair, the end slightly gray. Perhaps a sign of this prodigal, worldly wanderer aging slowly. His gaze traversed mountains and rivers, capturing the rolling clouds on the horizon, his chest gently rising and falling, seemingly stirred. Du Yuexin stood beside him, her youthful beauty showing uncertainty. Brother Chen, the heart Dao is truly destroyed. The extinction of a Tao, known by all heavens. For the emergence and destruction of a Tao creates such chaos and visibility. A Tao births, heavenly Tao celebrates, a Tao river like a celestial path, spanning across the world. A Tao ends, the sky enacts a scene of rupture, witnessed by all. They watched Heart Dao King in the sky, torn and plunged into a fall, their internal shock beyond words. Reincarnation sect, most complex feelings towards Heart Dao among cultivation sects. For Heart Dao's position was originally theirs. 6,000 years ago, reincarnation was Dao. Heart Dao was sect. But a sudden upheaval, reincarnation lost the seal, Heart Dao gained the seal. Since then, reincarnation sect fell from grace, Heart Dao rose rapidly, its path, stepping over reincarnation's rise. Today, Heart Dao's path is destroyed. World scenario changed drastically. Indeed, Heart Dao lost its path. Why? Gu Jian Yaochen retracted his gaze from the distant sky. Father-in-law, I can answer this, a voice came through. Gu Jian Yaochen suddenly turned. 2 points of black and white light appeared on the horizon, next moment, settled by his side. From presence to arrival, without warning, almost like opening the heavenly window of the 3 enforcement realm. Gu Jian Yaochen's eyes lit up. Du Yuexin's face revealed a smile. There's a saying, mother-in-law looks at her son-in-law, the more she looks, the more she likes. And she no longer a master Myoxin, is worldly, not immune to customs. Sorry you've come, Du Yuexin greeted warmly. Do you know the reason behind Heart Dao losing its path? Gu Jian Yaochen went straight to the point. Lin Ziyasu bowed deeply, greeting the 2 elders, then raised his gaze, a slight smile on his face. Heart Dao lost its path because Kang Yuan's 7 heavenly stars joined forces to sever the path, and 7 heavenly stars gathered at Heart Dao's halfway point, thanks to my grand plan. Your grand plan, Gu Jian Yaochen trembled. Sir, why is this? Du Yuexin's heart skipped wildly. Lin Ziyasu's gaze fell on Du Yuexin's face. Father-in-law and mother-in-law, do you know who was the true mastermind behind reincarnation losing the seal 6,000 years ago? Who was it? Du Yuexin tightened completely. Reincarnation lost the seal, a mystery. Within reincarnation sect, who doesn't want answers? However, as it involves such sensitive topics, high-end layers, nearly 10,000 years, those who knew long dead, countless speculations, who can find the core truth. Capitulo 1097, Chapter 756, Severing the Heart Dao Part 3. The junior only needs to tell the 2 adults about one key person, and I believe the 2 adults will understand immediately. Lin Ziyasu said, today the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face in the Heart Dao is the unparalleled beauty that the reincarnation Tao Master traveled thousands of miles to rescue, Su Yuyan. Du Yuexin and Gu Jian Yaochen's hearts simultaneously rolled up like a level 12 typhoon. With just this identity, they truly understood. The reincarnation's loss of the seal, and the Heart Tao gaining the seal, the greatest beneficiary is the Heart Tao. And the half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face in the Heart Tao was the stunning beauty that the reincarnation Tao Master traveled thousands of miles to rescue from the brink of death. What does this imply? It implies that the reincarnation's loss of the seal was inherently the Heart Tao scheme. The Heart Tao Master is the planner behind this 6,000-year-old mystery. Reincarnation loses the seal, Heart Tao gains the seal. I have always suspected there is a connection between them but lacked solid evidence. With Sar pointing it out, I finally completely understand. Du Yuexin exhaled deeply. Gu Jian Yaochen said, "So, you planned an action against Heart Tao, borrowing Kang Yuan's hand to destroy their path." "Destroying their path is not only for revenge," Lin Ziasu said. "More importantly, if the Heart Tao is not eradicated, reincarnation Tao will struggle to recover. The ultimate goal of my plan is to facilitate the reincarnation Tao's breaking the barrier and returning to the path." With a swoosh, a strong wind arose. A voice came, breaking the barrier and returning to the path. Before the voice fell, figures appeared one after another. Dozens of figures landed simultaneously on Reincarnation Peak. The leader, with white beard and hair, every strand seemed both real and illusory, his aura no weaker than the Reincarnation Heavenly Elite. Behind him, there were 3 or 4 people from the third obsession, and the rest were also at the pinnacle of the second vessel. Du Yuexin bowed deeply, "Father." Gu Jian Yaochen bowed, "Greetings, sect leader." Lin Ziasu slightly trembled. "This is the current reincarnation sect leader, Du Xing. He is also the father of my mother-in-law." There had been rumors that the current reincarnation sect leader, Du Xing, was the biological father of the former holy daughter, Du Yuexin. However, because this holy daughter deeply wounded his heart by eloping with a vagabond of Jianghu, abandoning a promising foundation to become a recluse, challenging her father's limits in every way, this sect leader severed their father-daughter bond, not acknowledging her as his biological daughter, commonly saying, "As if I never had this daughter." And now they were face to face. Du Xing completely ignored his daughter and couldn't be bothered with this son-in-law he never acknowledged, his eyes like windows of reincarnation, firmly locking onto Lin Ziasu. "Are you saying that my reincarnation sect has a chance to break the barrier and return to the path? Even with 1,000 years? Even having weathered the storms of life, this momentary sentence is filled with waves." The elders behind him altogether held their breath. Because the answer to this question is too serious. Serious enough to leave no room for a breath. "Greetings, sect leader." Lin Ziasu bowed and slowly raised his head. "The ultimate goal of my maneuvered plan is to assist my beloved wife's reincarnation sect in breaking the barrier and returning to the path. Is there a method to accomplish this?" The sect leader's eyes gleamed brightly. Today's reincarnation sect, when considered purely in terms of heritage, possesses the foundation to break the barrier and enter the path. What it lacks is the Tao seal, Lin Ziasu said. "Today, I came specifically to return the reincarnation Tao seal." His hand lifted gently. In his palm lay a broken reincarnation Tao seal. Everyone's eyes were fixed firmly, and for a moment, everyone's hearts were overturned with mixed emotions. This is the reincarnation Tao seal of that day. This is the seal tied to the ultimate fate of all who practice reincarnation law in the world. When the former Taoist lord took it away, it marked the beginning of reincarnation Tao's decline. How many years, how many people traveled to demon ruins in hopes of recovering a fragment of the reincarnation Tao seal, but were unsuccessful. Now all has returned. Yet the returned Tao seal is fragmented. Worldly changes over millennia, so unpredictable. Du Xing sighed deeply. Though the return of the remnant seal is indeed fortunate, nonetheless, the remnant seal cannot form a path. With this remnant seal alone, it cannot break the barrier and return to the path. "The sect leader speaks rightly," Lin Ziasu said. "Fortunately, I did not expect to rely solely on this remnant seal to break the barrier and return to the path." "Then what other method could break through?" Du Yuexin spoke. Over the years, she seldom met her father because he refused to see her. Every meeting was suffocatingly tense. Generally, as long as her father was present, she refrained from speaking, but now she couldn't help it. Lin Ziasu smiled slightly. "Mother-in-law, do you know what Feng Jai's third regret is?" Du Yuexin's face showed an extremely complex expression. I asked her, but she didn't say. She didn't tell mother-in-law because she knows this regret is not only her own but the regret of all members of the reincarnation sect. Telling it would merely add to despair, without solving anything. Lin Zaiasu said. Her ultimate regret is the shared regret of the whole reincarnation sect. Gu Jian Yaochen spoke. The reincarnation Tao seal returning, yes. Yes. Lin Zaiasu's gaze slowly rose. So everyone, this reincarnation remnant seal isn't the Tao artifact for the reincarnation sect to directly use to break the barrier and return to the path. It's merely the key that unties her heart's knot and resolves her past life's regret. In everyone's hearts, a tempestuous wave surged. Everyone was stunned like wooden chickens. Feng Jai carried the true reincarnation seal. Perhaps others didn't know, but among this group of top-tier individuals they all knew. The true reincarnation seal, each seal represents a regret, and they were also aware that resolving a regret might allow a new Tao seal to be born. They of course were aware. But Feng Jai never shared what her regret was with anyone. Now the answer is revealed. No one blames Feng Jai for not saying, because saying it wouldn't change anything. Capitulo 1098, Chapter 756, Severing the Heart Tao Part 4. This is a never-ending cycle. The mark has not returned. Her regrets cannot be resolved. Regrets cannot be resolved. The mark cannot be born. What use is it for her to tell everyone? It would only dampen everyone's spirits and cause them to lose hope. But now, Lin Zaiasu has a transformation. He split the two words, reincarnation Tao seal, into two, separating the old from the new. By using the Tao seal from years ago, he resolves her regrets, and then he helps the new Tao seal to be born. This newly born Tao seal is the true Tao artifact for the reincarnation sect to break the sect and return to the Tao. Du Xing withdrew his gaze from the distant reincarnation platform where his granddaughter was. Her regret is the return of the reincarnation Tao seal, but the one that has returned is a remnant seal. Can it really resolve her regret? Regarding regret, it's actually just a heart knot. I think the core of her regret is not the Tao seal as a material object, but merely the confusion and discontent over the mysterious case at the reincarnation sect of the past. Besides this Tao seal, what I want to bring to her is the enemy's failed plot and the gratifying justice they have to endure. The elders of the reincarnation sect looked at each other. The great elder lightly exhaled a breath. Young master's words are truly enlightening, as if lifting clouds to see the sun. How could one's regret be a physical object? This old man's persistence is indeed misguided. Du Xing took a deep breath and slowly bowed. Please, young master, step onto the reincarnation platform. Inviting him onto the reincarnation platform. This signified full approval of everything he said. Inviting him to hold the reincarnation remnant seal and complete this final stretch. This path wasn't meant for outsiders. However, he had paved this path step by step. Today marks the most significant moment in the history of the reincarnation sect, the most sacred and solemn moment, and yet it is an outsider, Lin Zaiasu, who holds the incense of creation, stepping toward the gate of destiny and history. Lin Zaiasu turned and stepped toward the reincarnation platform, walking step by step. Behind him, countless gazes gathered. Below the reincarnation platform, the winds and clouds changed, and on the platform a woman looked back. Feng Jai. On one side of Feng Jai's face, she wore a black iron mask, her eyes revealing boundless joy. The winds and clouds of reincarnation blocked her sight. She couldn't see anything from the outside world. In her eyes, there was only her mischievous husband. Husband, Feng Jai rushed forward, her soft, fragrant self embracing him fully. Lin Zaiasu told himself inwardly, no one outside is watching, everyone is blind. Then he hugged her, his lips meeting hers. Du Yuexin raised her hand, touching her forehead. Gu Jian Yaochen raised his hand, touching his forehead. Du Xing had turned around, his face displaying an unknown expression. The elders behind him all turned, refusing to look at the sect leader's face. Everyone knew the sect leader's strong sentiments toward the affairs of his younger generation as a red line, wounded for thousands of years. Husband, why are you here? I missed you. Ah, it's still daytime. Half of Feng Jai's face was flushed red, her breathing a bit hurried. Daytime is good. I want to take off your mask and have a good look at you. No, husband, You can undo my clothes, but you can't take off my mask, that's our promise. Outside world. Ahem, the sect leader gently coughed. With that cough, all sounds were silenced. That was just a past promise, Lin Zaiasu said. Now it's different, sister, I brought something for you. He raised his hand, and a remnant Tao seal appeared in his palm. As the Tao seal emerged, the winds and clouds on the reincarnation platform surged peculiarly. Feng Jai's eyes widened. The reincarnation Tao seal. It's not just the reincarnation Tao seal. I also brought you the solution to that 6,000-year-old mystery that has perplexed and dissatisfied you all along. As he narrated, Feng Jai's face reflected the shifts of the winds and clouds: confusion, clarity, anger. Back then, the missing seal of reincarnation event Lin Zaiasu had analyzed with her, however, that was mere speculation. And now, a true scene unfolded: the missing reincarnation seal, the heart Tao gaining the seal, the 6,000 years of suffering in the reincarnation road, all because of that vile woman. Capítulo 1099, Chapter 757, Establishing the Path of Reincarnation. After a long while, Feng Jai's eyes gleamed sharply. Su Yuan, where is she now? I have personally killed her, both form and spirit annihilated. Heart Dao, what about the Heart Dao? Do you have a plan against it? Senior sister, you were at the reincarnation platform, paying no heed to the outside world, which is why you are unaware of what just happened. Lin Zaiasu hugged her shoulders. Although this hug was intimate, there were still boundaries. With his usual behavior, his hands would generally slip inside the clothes under normal circumstances. At this moment, he forcibly restrained the impulse of his fingers. What? Feng Jai said. Just now, a grand scheme I devised came to a close. The 7 heavenly stars of Kangyuan took action and directly killed Hongfei, the Heart Tao Master. The so-called Heart Dao he created has been consigned to the sands of history. The Heart Dao has been cut off. Ah, Feng Jai jumped up. Really? Really? Husband, carry me into the cave. This news deserves 3 days and nights of celebration. My God. Old man Du Xing, I hope you don't get angry. Lin Zaiasu's heart was in turmoil as he grabbed her hands, gently lifting them to remove her mask. By the time Feng Jai realized something was off, the mask had already left her face. Ah, Feng Jai suddenly raised her hand, clutching one side of her face. Lin Zaiasu gently lifted his hand, parting the azure waters beneath the reincarnation platform, revealing a water mirror before her. Senior sister, look at your face. Feng Jai was stunned. The scar on her face, which had once caused her so much heartache, had faded like a light mist. The last mark of the true reincarnation seal was dissipating. Her 3 regrets from the past life had now been eradicated. However, there seemed to remain a slight regret attached to this reincarnation mark, a pull that she herself could not pinpoint. Outside the reincarnation platform, Du Xing's gaze turned to Du Yuxin. Du Yuxin raised her gaze, meeting her father's. This gaze was complex, cautious, and made her heart race. Yuer, come here. The gentle call was the first Du Yuxin had heard in 3,000 years. Father, Du Yuxin stepped forward. Chenchen, you come over too, Du Xing said. Gu Jian Yaochen quivered slightly, his eyes filled with a big question mark, as if asking, are you calling me? Brother Chen, father is calling you, Du Yuxin said softly. At this moment, Gu Jian Yaochen put away all his lifelong pride and came to Du Xing's side. Sect leader. Don't call me sect leader, call me father-in-law, Du Xing said. Gu Jian Yaochen's eyes widened. Du Yuxin's eyes glistened, and she nodded gently. Father-in-law. Du Xinghe gently extended his hand, stroking his daughter's hair. Yuer, I was strongly against you and Chenchen back then. However, after 3,000 years, I have come to see clearly that Chenchen is worthy of your lifetime commitment. It was I who was too stubborn. Father, Du Yuxin clutched her father's arm, tears finally spilling down after swaying for so long. Feng Jai, when my granddaughter returned to the sect bearing the true reincarnation seal, I actually wanted to tell you that fate works in mysterious ways. When Chenchen overcame countless hardships and severed his array path self to return to your side, I watched from afar and wanted to tell him that I acknowledge him as my son-in-law. Du Xing said. Today, before all the elders, I tell you this because of Feng Jai. If there was any final regret in her world, it would be the chasm in familial affection. As his voice fell, his hands also dropped. He embraced his daughter and son-in-law, one on each side. The wind blew past, and his figure floated by. On the reincarnation platform, Feng Jai sprang up, surprised as she looked at the three of them. Her parents and her grandfather walked together. Their demeanor was so intimate. "My granddaughter in this life, do you still have any regrets?" Du Xing asked. "Grandfather." Feng Jai leaped from Lin Ziasu's embrace, her face flushed with crimson. At this moment did she have even a shred of regret. In the next moment, the final mark on her face, the last tether, disappeared into nothingness. The imprint sank deep into the sea of consciousness. In the sea of consciousness, the other two imprints rose to meet it. With a resounding boom, an extraordinary gateway opened on her forehead, etched with lifelike patterns, almost as if solidified. Inside the gate, the wind and clouds shifted. An extraordinary mark emerged from the gate. The entire world changed in an instant as endless wind and clouds transformed into a long river of azure. Within the river were all the laws of the reincarnation road. Buzz! A sound of the heavenly Tao resonated from the sky. Endless colorful clouds floated, transforming into a rainbow bridge. The bridge extended directly beneath Feng Jai's feet. On both sides of the bridge, transformed by the heavenly Tao power, Qing Ying, the phoenix, and the true dragon gathered around her simultaneously. "Feng Jai, step onto your path as the Taoist Lord," Du Xing said with a smile. "Grandfather, how can I be the master of a path? This road should be yours," Feng Jai exclaimed in shock. "The reincarnation Tao seal was born because of you, so you are the Taoist Lord," Du Xing said. "Besides, you are my granddaughter, and I, as your grandfather, have never offered much familial care in your life. How could I strip you of this destiny? Go." With a simple gesture of his hand, Feng Jai was involuntarily sent up onto the rainbow bridge. Above the heavens, colorful clouds drifted, and the heavenly music echoed. The reincarnation road. Reestablished. With the establishment of the reincarnation road, the entire reincarnation sect experienced an upheaval as the heavenly Tao power bestowed upon this realm, bestowing a first wave of benefits for breaking through. Du Yuxin's whole body trembled, her spirit platform suddenly opened, and at that moment she broke into the second vessel. Her husband, Gu Jian Yaochen, underwent a sudden change in his eyes, as if the sword Tao entered his eyes and heart, bringing his sword Tao directly to the peak of the sword world, and his cultivation had also broken into the third obsession. Capitulo 1100, Chapter 757, Reincarnation Establishes the Tao, Part 2. The heavenly Tao conferred Feng Jai as the reincarnation Tao master, connecting the chain of cause and effect with her parents. Both parents simultaneously broke through their realms. Not just them. The entire reincarnation sect, from this moment onward, is called the reincarnation Tao. All have received feedback. Du Xinghe, who was originally only at the third obsession, suddenly broke through that step without heavenly punishment, successfully broke through. The 4 high-level elders under him, who were at the early stage of the third obsession, all broke into the late stage. Moreover, 7 high-level elders crossed the threshold of the third obsession. From this moment onward, in the reincarnation sect, there are 10 people at the third obsession. Reincarnation is the law. The third obsession that understands the law and enters the realm is the true vessel. The strength of the 10 true vessels has already surpassed the old heart Tao. Comparable to the other real space-time path, path of chaos, yin-yang Tao, Tao of cause and effect, path of life. All other disciples have also risen 1 or several levels. For a moment the world rejoices. Oh no, all disciples under the reincarnation sect rejoice. However, there is one exception. Lin Ziasu. Lin Ziasu silently stands in place. He can sense the ubiquitous opportunities of the heavenly Tao, but these opportunities seem to have grown eyes, avoiding him. Feng Jai's parents' grandfather. Even the reincarnation sect's raised dog benefited from Feng Jai's attainment. Only he, Feng Jai's rightful husband, the absolute contributor to the reincarnation sect breaking through the realm, the most important link in this chain of cause and effect, is excluded from the heavenly Tao's rewards. I see. It really turned out like the old spirit clan leader said. The heavenly Tao realized he is a traitor and directly abandoned him. In the distant spirit clan, on the top of the spirit ruins hall, the clan leader gazed into the deep sky, his expression shifting like the wind and clouds. Saintess Qian Ling's face was flushed. Within a day, the heart Tao was destroyed, the reincarnation was restored. Is this truly his grand plan? Destroy the Tao, restore the Tao, such a great feat, how could he accomplish it by his power alone? The clan leader murmured. Even I find it hard to believe, but it seems I cannot doubt it. This morning when he bid farewell to me, he embarked on the path to destroy the heart Tao. The Tao he wishes to destroy, the heavenly Tao complies. The Tao he wishes to establish, the heavenly Tao complies. This doesn't make sense. The clan leader gently shook his head. Could it be I've thought too much? Was the heavenly Tao not resentful towards him for what happened that day? Did it even favor him? The view returned to the reincarnation platform. At this moment, the reincarnation platform has already soared into the clouds. As the enlightenment, holy land of the Taoist Lord, it transformed into the highest peak among the 360 peaks of reincarnation. King flowed overhead, the mark rose and fell within King, and the aura on Feng Jai's body changed every moment. Originally, she was just a thread away from the one vow, but now she surpassed one vow, second vessel. This is the benefit of the Taoist Lord, as the Lord of one Tao must surely be the absolute towering beam of that Tao. The reincarnation Tao restored, as the reincarnation Tao master, regardless of her original cultivation, the heavenly Tao forcibly lifts her up at this moment. Lin Zaiasu stood on the reincarnation platform, his heart racing. It's done, almost done. Will there be variables? For example, Kang Yuan. Does Kang Yuan want to see the reincarnation Tao established? Things have reached this stage. No one in the world can stop the restoration of the reincarnation Tao, but what about outside? How does Kang Yuan see it? A long time ago, he had already given a preventive shot in Kang Yuan, embedding a concept in advance. The restoration of the reincarnation Tao marks the perfection of the heavenly Tao. To forces like Kang Yuan, which hold the heavenly Tao, you should welcome it. However, this is only the theoretical should. In reality, he still couldn't see Kang Yuan's true nature. He could ensure that he convinced Li Lun. After all, Li Lun cultivates the reincarnation law. If the reincarnation Tao is not established, his cultivation would come to an end. If it is established, he has the greatest benefit. However, he couldn't guarantee that the Yuan Master and the Elder Council could be convinced. Especially the Elder Council. If he saw Kang Yuan Abyss Master as seeing flowers in the fog, he viewed the Kang Yuan Elder Council with the same eye as he viewed the Heart Tao. A soft sound. A window opened in the sky. A team appeared within the heavenly window. Each person was like a venerable, heavenly immortal. Lin Zaiasu lifted his gaze and saw the group he had just been with. Led by Li Lun, the 8 great heavenly gang of Kang Yuan. Du Xing's heart shook violently, his gaze suddenly lifted, his expression instantly turbulent. Seeing that the Millennium Great Achievement is about to be completed. The 7 heavenly elite of Kang Yuan appeared together, and the 7 heavenly elite have a significance. When this 7 unite, they invoke heavenly punishment. Whatever you do, don't let any trouble arise. His form moved, ready to ascend. A hand suddenly reached out, pressing on his shoulder. Grandfather, please be patient, let me. With a movement of his feet, Lin Zaiasu soared into the sky. With a swoosh, a figure appeared before him, Duan Mukan. Duan Mukan's face was very conflicted. I said, why wouldn't you shamelessly take the reincarnation remnant seal? Turns out, you've been playing this big game. As the voice came out, everyone's expression simultaneously became complex. Every gaze fell upon his face. At this moment, everyone truly understood the true reason why Lin Zaiasu took the reincarnation remnant seal and hurriedly left. Everyone gave up this remnant seal because there was an iron rule. The remnant seal cannot be the Tao. It's not worth tearing face with this kid over a high-end magic treasure. However, who could have thought that this remnant seal would precisely facilitate the restoration of the reincarnation Tao? The establishment of the reincarnation Tao, though it is the regulation of the heavenly Tao. Yet the establishment of the world's Tao is often witnessed or sanctioned by Kang Yuan. Bypassing Kang Yuan and directly establishing the Tao is a big disrespect to Kang Yuan. Capitulo 1101, Chapter 757, Reincarnation establishes the path /3. After all, Kang Yuan is the orthodox institution for holding the way on behalf of the heavens. Lin Zaiasu's action challenged the absolute authority of Kang Yuan. The 8 great heavenly elite had just handed Emperor Kun's kindling lamp to the Yuan Master, and then witnessed the birth of this spectacular sight of setting the way, making the Yuan Master's face turn green at that moment. The 8 disciples broke through the void to see what was going on. Lin Zaiasu looked at Li Lun. Brother Li, haven't we already reached a consensus? Setting the reincarnation road leads the heavenly Tao to perfection, benefits all beings of the heavenly Tao, and is a great occasion worthy of universal celebration in the cultivation path. So, why are the senior brothers and sisters not happy on this joyous day of establishing the reincarnation road? Li Lun's expression was full of conflict. As a cultivator of the reincarnation law, he sincerely hoped for the reincarnation road to be established. Yet is this a matter of happiness or not? Duanmukin said solemnly. If you intend to set the way, why not speak directly to us? Does playing this hand seem amusing to you? Fairy Zixia gently brushed her hair from her forehead. Perhaps Prince Ding originally intended to use our heavenly elite to achieve the great plan of establishing the reincarnation road after destroying the Heart Tao. This plan is indeed unparalleled in boldness, but what does Prince Ding take our Kanyuan heavenly elite for? Pawns to be manipulated at will. If Duanmuken's words were only an expression of breath. Fairy Zixia's words were extremely solemn and worthy of being put on the table. Lin Zaiasu smiled faintly. Fairy Zixia really overestimates me. Destroying the path, it is the will of heaven. Establishing the way, it is the will of heaven. How could I, an ordinary man, cause chaos in the grand scheme of the heavenly Tao for my own selfish desires? Just one sentence answered all questions. No need for debate, no need for further words. A single sentence strikes the core. Heavenly Tao. The matter is settled. This is the will of the heavenly Tao. It has nothing to do with me. The heavenly will is fulfilled, whether Kanyuan follows it or defies it. Do as you see fit. Meijiu looked at this person, then that person, and spoke. Do any of the senior brothers and sisters feel that, with the establishment of the reincarnation road, I really sense some changes in heaven and earth? Perhaps those of us who have cultivated to the end of the third obsession may indeed have the chance to take that step. These words do not involve disputes, but open a new door. The hearts of the heavenly elite jumped in unison, and they quietly sensed heaven and earth. Indeed, heaven and earth's aura truly changed at that moment. It seemed to quietly mend some of the previous imperfections. An incomplete heavenly Tao made taking that step tremendously dangerous. Now with a perfected heavenly Tao, that step may not be as perilous. How to describe this? Emperor. If an emperor is weak, and a minister steps forward half a step, suspicion and paranoia grow, leading to severe punishment. However, if the emperor is robust and confident, he wouldn't care much if a minister crosses the line a bit. This is why establishing the reincarnation road benefits all beings of the heavenly Tao. Li Lun breathed lightly. Brother Su is someone who shakes the heavens and earth. What he does is also earth-shaking. Let's set aside right and wrong for now. How about entering Kanyuan for another drink? Upon hearing these words, everyone shared a common thought that this young man would likely decline, because he sensed Kanyuan's attitude toward him. He absolutely wouldn't dare to enter Kanyuan again. Yet Lin Zaiasu smiled. That's all the better, please. He agreed. Please. With a swoosh, the 8 great heavenly elite all entered the heavenly window. Plus Lin Zaiasu. The doors to the heavenly window closed. Under the reincarnation Tao seal, King he merged with the mark, accompanied by streams of light spreading across the land. A Tao chant descended from the 9 heavens, the reincarnation road officially established. Within Kanyuan, it remains unchanged eternally. Spacious expansive land, lofty towers and pavilions limitless. Li Lun led the way, stepping into his Hulang. Kanyuan's 14 heavenly elite each have their own dojo, whose names are of their own choosing. Meijiu's dojo is Ruzuo Pavilion. Li Lun's dojo is Hulang. Hulang, a winding gallery. Round the gallery, endless clouds and wind. At the end of the gallery, a table awaited. All 9 entered. Li Lun raised his cup. Brother Su, though we've known each other for only half a year, this short time at the halfway point, fighting side by side, has made us comrades. This cup to comrades. To comrades, Lin Zaiasu raised his cup and drank it all. Meijiu raised the cup. Brother Su, though I am thousands of years older, our kinship transcends age. This cup to brothers. Thank you, Brother Mei. Lin Zaiasu raised his cup. Willow Leaf raised the cup. Our acquaintance began due to a misunderstanding. The world is full of such regretful misunderstandings, yet this particular one was a marvelous encounter to the impermanence of things. To impermanence, Lin Zaiasu smiled. Brother Liu drank all that impermanence wine. How should I drink this cause and effect wine? Lu Huayan frowned and raised his cup. I'll just drink it without saying anything then. Haha. Everyone laughed heartily. The tense atmosphere gradually dissipated as hosts and guests enjoyed themselves. After 3 rounds, Li Lun raised his cup again. Brother Su, although your visit to Kangyuan was at my invitation, your prompt acceptance suggests you have your considerations. May I ask if you have any business to attend to? Brother Li is insightful, Lin Ziasu said. After the banquet finishes, I want to request to see the Yuan Master. Request to see Master. Li Lun's face changed with expressions. What is the purpose? Lin Ziasu said. Senior brothers and sisters know that I come from the end of Dharma world, Great Xia realm. Our homeland faces a catastrophe of destruction. I wish for the Yuan Master's solemn promise. Should the time come, if Kangyuan can assist us, I hope you do. If not, please watch from afar, and do not let my tormented compatriots bear the unbearable burden. Capitulo 1102, Chapter 757, Reincarnation establishes the Tao/4. With these words, the lively banquet instantly fell silent as night. The 8 great heavenly gangs' expressions simultaneously lost their ease. Lin Ziasu slowly lifted his gaze. Everyone. Prince Ding, Fairy Zixia stood up, holding a cup of wine. I have never given you any countenance in the past, but today I sincerely invite you on behalf of Kangyuan, asking you to bring your family to join us. You could become the 15th heavenly gang of Kangyuan, and I assure you with 1,000 years of credibility that your family will be treated as honored guests. What do you think? Lin Ziasu slowly stood up, looking quietly at Fairy Zixia. Fairy sincerely invites. I am deeply grateful, but I want to know, why does the fairy say this? The entire hall was silent. Even Duan Mucan at this moment seemed to have lost her capriciousness, quietly sitting in a corner, hands supporting a wine cup, turning it aimlessly. The others were all looking at their wine cups, watching the steam rise from the dishes on the table. Fairy Zixia took a deep breath. The world is a heavy burden, and when it's time to lift it completely. Fine, let me say everything, Prince Ding, what you seek we all know. However, your pursuit is ultimately a futile pursuit. That world you cannot protect it wholly. Therefore, I sincerely invite you to become the 15th heavenly gang of Kangyuan and ensure your family's safety. From then on, when that world's climate changes, you can just observe from the sidelines. Lin Ziasu's face changed. Zixia's eyes gradually lifted, gradually passing over his head. Your Highness probably knows the 3-character bone book human volume, but may not know the heavenly bone book still has the heavenly scroll. Heaven, earth, and humanity contend because of that world, causing the heavenly book to be covered in dust. This dust cannot be cleared unless that world is destroyed. So, can you understand? Lin Ziasu took a deep breath. Therefore, to protect that world's peace, I should give Kangyuan the Emperor Kun's kindling lamp that this world covets, which actually cannot stop Kangyuan from destroying that world. I also have to hand over the lives of my 7 billion compatriots, using their blood, using their innocent lives, to cleanse that 3-character bone heavenly scripture. His voice was very light, his demeanor very polite, but the chill in his words was bone deep. Fairy Zixia's heart trembled slightly. She dared not look into Lin Ziasu's eyes. The 3-character bone heavenly scripture is not just a bone book. It is the foundation of this world's cultivators, and it is not only about Kangyuan. Understood, Lin Ziasu said. So, those who want to massacre my people include not only Kangyuan but the entire cultivation path. Brothers, Meiju slowly stood up. Lin Ziasu's hand suddenly lifted, a palm resting in front of him. Brother Mei, no need to speak. Let me speak. Everyone was silent. Lin Ziasu took a deep breath. Entering the cultivation path, affection becomes non-existent. This may be regarded as the true essence of cultivation by you all, but I'm sorry, I have never been a pure cultivator. I only have 2 beliefs. First, the lives of family members are not for trading. Second, when the homeland is invaded, resist with life. Now the bottom line is clear. I will first hear the choice made by the Lord of Kangyuan. Thunk. He stepped across the endless void outside the reincarnation corridor, passing over the Elder Hall where the Kangyuan Elder Council was located. His figure landed on a mountain ridge. This mountain ridge was like the dragon's head behind Kangyuan, also like a scepter inserted on top of a giant palace. On the ridge, an elder turned his head, none other than the Kangyuan Grand Elder. You have returned. The Grand Elder's voice was cold. Lin Ziasu coldly stared at him, without uttering a word. What do you intend? To meet the Yuan Master, Lin Ziasu replied with 4 characters. What is your request? No request, just to present a problem to the Yuan master to see what his choice will be, Lin Zaiasu said coldly. Presumptuous. The Grand Elder's robe sleeve suddenly swept, like a landslide, like a tsunami rushing towards him. Lin Zaiasu's hand rose. A sword thrust out. This sword, freezing time and space, connecting cause and effect, separating yin and yang, seemed like his most powerful sword of the past. Life is unpredictable. Yet at the end of this sword, a chaos green lotus bloomed. The Grand Elder's robe sleeve collided with this green lotus. His robe sleeve suddenly turned into chaos. He himself was swept into the chaos. His expression immediately changed. He was the pinnacle of the third obsession, the true vessel. His cultivation was definitely not below the Kanyuan heavenly aura. Nor was it below any Taoist lord of the world. Anyone in the world, when his robe sleeve swept like that, should roll towards whatever direction he set. However, Lin Zaiasu raised a sword. With just a sword, he forced the Grand Elder to retreat. Lin Zaiasu's long sword pointed askew, standing on the peak. The direction where the long sword pointed was towards a pavilion on the summit. That pavilion was called the Heavenly Tao Pavilion, the retreat of the Yuan Master. Capitulo 1103, Chapter 758, A Farewell Drink Before Departure, Never to Meet Again. Kangyuan Willow Leaf Meiju. Even someone cultivating the path of chaos, like Fairy Zixia who has transcended worldly smoke and fire, was greatly shocked. No one knew that Lin Zaiasu, whom they had studied repeatedly, had such formidable swordsmanship. With just one sword strike, he didn't merely defeat the Kangyuan Grand Elder of the same level. He was absolutely not inferior to the Elder. In other words, with just this sword, it was declared that this heavenly pride of the mortal world was actually a super great power, truly at the same level as Kangyuan heavenly aura. Time, space, causality, yin-yang, chaos, the five laws unite. Meiju's voice seeped into Willow Leaf's ear. The voice was like a sigh, and it carried boundless comfort. Duanmukan stared blankly at the chaotic aftershock at the end of the sword, her chest gently rising and falling. She had always wanted to fight him once more, to wipe away the regret of not being able to defeat him that day. At the halfway point, she was defeated once. Now the feeling of defeat engulfed her completely. On that day at the halfway point, even when facing Half-Tao Lord of Heavenly Face or Heart-Tao Master Hongfei, he did not show his true skills. Now the true skills were truly displayed, shown before the Yuan Master of Kangyuan. On the Heavenly Tao platform, a figure slowly turned, as if the entire world was turning simultaneously. Yuan Master, the Elder bowed deeply. The Yuan Master's gaze slowly fell on Lin Zaiasu's face. The five laws unite. What a Heavenly Tao sword technique. What is the name of this sword? If life were but a first sight, why do autumn winds mourn painted fans? Easily hearts of old friends change, thus old friend's heart it seems easy to change. Lin Zaiasu chanted slowly. This sword I hereby name old friend's heart. On the corridor above, the 8 great heavenly gangs' hearts trembled simultaneously. If life were but a first sight, they had once met him for the first time. Within the palace, upon first learning of his feats. In the infinite prison, worried over matters concerning him. In Ruzuo Pavilion, singing over drinks. At the halfway point, life and death hung by a thread. Now a cruel scene unfolded, leading them to an opposing side, and they could no longer turn back. He in the end was hurt. What a old friend's heart, the Yuan Master gently sighed. It's not that old friend's heart easily changes, but rather you've never truly understood the great worldly trend. The great worldly trend, meaning you will eventually take my world, turning it into a blood torrent, cleansing what you claim to be million years of dust. Lin Zaiasu said calmly. It's not me, but rather the intention of the heavenly Tao. The Yuan Master raised his hand lightly, crushing the Emperor Kun's kindling lamp acquired from Lin Zaiasu with a puff. It seemed to answer just his one question. But in truth, crushing this kindling lamp, sought after like an exotic treasure, demonstrated the stance of the heavenly Tao itself, that the heavenly Tao and human path do not coexist. The Emperor Kun's kindling lamp, desired by many, was not valued by the Kangyuan Abyss Master. What he cared about was always one thing, ensuring the kindling lamp was not in the grasp of a powerful enemy. Is the will of heaven truly unavoidable? Lin Zaiasu asked. Apologies, young Master Su, for shattering your illusion of Kangyuan, the Yuan Master replied. Do not call me young Master Su, I am not surnamed Su, Lin Zaiasu responded. I am named Lin Zaiasu. I am the Qianlong of Daxia country. Qianlong. Lin Zaiyasu clasped his hands. Farewell. He descended the heavenly Tao Peak. He reached the corridor in one step. In the corridor, 8 figures stood silently, watching as Lin Zaiyasu walked step by step. Su, brother Lin, Meiju exhaled softly. Can we have another drink? A look of conflict appeared on his face. Lin Zaiyasu reached out, picked up the wine pot on the table, poured himself a cup, lifted the cup. Brother May, I offer you a drink with a word of advice. Brother, please speak. May we never meet in this life again. Meiju's wine cup lightly rippled. In the world, how could there be talks of never meeting again with wine? Unless it was wine of severance. Yet he knew this wine was not of severance, but rather a tribute to their enduring friendship. If they were to meet again, it must be on the frontier of the other world, as sworn mortal enemies. And Lin Zaiasu's wish of never meeting again signified he did not wish for Meiju to appear before opposing armies. May we never meet in this life again. Meiju clinked lightly with him, tilted his head back and drained the cup, and this wine was exceedingly bitter. Lin Zaiyasu tipped the wine pot, poured another cup. To the rest, forgive me for not offering individual toasts, Lin Zaiyasu said, but together I toast this cup. With a flip of his hand, he downed the second cup. Setting the cup down, with a raise of his hand screech. The void tore open. He stepped out of Kangyuan, never to look back. With the final step, he showcased his cultivation once more. He could now tear through the void. He and Kangyuan heavenly, Aura truly stood on the same realm. He departed. Kangyuan Willowleaf gazed blankly at the slowly healing rift in the void. Thud. A mouthful of bitter wine poured into his mouth. In the end, he drank this cup. It seemed a response to Lin Zaiyasu, yet also embodied his anguish. If life were but a first sight, why do autumn winds mourn painted fans? Easily hearts of old friends change, thus old friends' heart it seems easy to change. A good poem, a good poem. He Yuan Fairy softly chanted, raising her hand, inhaling the cup of wine as her hair fell covering her face, leaving her expression unknown. Li Lun raised his hand lightly, holding the wine aloft in his palm. The wine poured down, falling onto the reincarnation road beneath. This cup he did not drink, seeming more like a memorial. Lu Huayan, Yin Shisan held their cups of wine, facing each other. The wine in their palms felt overwhelmingly heavy at this moment. Whoosh, the wine pot on the table was lifted by someone. Duanmu Kan directly picked up the wine pot, tilted her head, swish. She drank it dry. Crack. The wine pot shattered into pieces. Her figure rose into the sky, unknown where she ended. Capitulo 1104, Chapter 758, A Farewell Drink Before Departure, Never to Meet Again. With a whoosh, Lin Zaiyasu descended from the abyss, piercing through the clouds and fog, landing on a peak. A fierce wind arose, his long hair flying high. Floating clouds moved, gathering into a sea of clouds beneath his feet. The wind in the spirit realm was like icy arrows, the vast sky devoid of sun and moon. A small tree emerged from nothing next to him, swaying gently, as if comforting the desolation in his heart at that moment. Lin Zaiyasu slowly turned his body, gazing at the small tree. A flower blossomed out of thin air on the small tree. Within the flower, a graceful figure formed, enlarging slowly. It was none other than Saintess Qian Ling. Husband, you look quite troubled. What happened? I just came down from the abyss, Lin Zaiyasu said. The abyss is already a mortal enemy. A single sentence like the world-ending Jinglei erupted on this peak, yet did not stir the expected waves. Saintess Qian Ling sighed softly. Actually, I knew long ago. Lin Zaiyasu furrowed his brow slightly. Father told me, Saintess Qian Ling said. The heavenly scroll of the 3-character bone book is the foundation of holding the way in the abyss. Millions of years ago, Emperor Kun sealed the Judy passage, causing the heavenly scroll to gather dust. It must wash away the Tao injury before it can hold the heavenly scroll again and truly grasp the heavenly Tao. I knew that one day you would unveil the veil between you and the abyss, but I didn't expect it to happen so quickly. Husband, why not take another approach, a curved path? Tell me more, Lin Zaiyasu said. You could relocate your kin to the great wilderness. Where your kin are, there your home is, right? Kinsmen, who are they? Parents, relatives, how many generations count as kin? Does the chain passed down for thousands of years count? If that's so, all 1.4 billion of my compatriots are kin. Can we relocate them all? Lin Zaiyasu said. Even if possible, would they willingly live under others' roofs? Numerous heroic spirits are still guarding their ancestral mountains and rivers. Countless soldiers fight on the borders just for the peace of home. Where should I place them? Saintess Kyan Ling gently closed her eyes. Husband, I know it's hard to leave the homeland. I also know what you have in mind, but... There is no but. Invasion of the homeland is non-negotiable, Lin Zaiasu said. Next, I shall complete the final stretch of my cultivation road, and then, if he wants to fight, then fight it shall be. Saintess Kyan Ling extended her hand. I will accompany you on your final journey. All right. And here I am too. A voice fell as the clan leader appeared before him. Son-in-law, I have fully understood your upcoming journey. Now, let me inform you of the precise route map. His path, destined not to be an ordinary road. For ordinary people, after entering the realm comes the second vessel, third obsession, then comes taking that step. But for him, upon entering the realm, the omen of the heavenly Tao had already appeared. The heavenly Tao sees him as an anomaly. Entering the realm is his final step. The future path is entirely severed. Because the heavenly Tao cannot allow this rebellious soul to take even half a more step along the way. His second vessel is essentially unfeasible. Thus, he can only be one vow for life. What could be done? The clan leader with 1,000,000 years of experience marked two paths for him, the idealized route and the realistic route. The realistic route is the road of the human emperor. Twin paths run in parallel. The idealized route is the convergence of three paths. Saintess Kyan Ling had already informed her father of his three elements God together, as well as informed him that he has already stepped into the underworld, perfected his earth Tao cultivation, and the legendary step, originally hopeless, has now begun to show its signs under his feet. Three paths converge, three elements God together. Son-in-law, you have already taken this unprecedented step. Next comes 5 Qi return to origin, the 5 Qi, unmatched as they are. 5 Qi correspond to the 5 organs: heart, liver, spleen, lungs, kidneys. They correspond to fire, wood, earth, gold, water, respectively. Also the 5 elements. 5 elements converge in the 5 organs. The human body becomes a universe. 3 flowers gathering at the top. 5 Qi return to origin, the road of Hengmeng Jidao. This is a path none before have successfully trodden. Once achieved, one breaks free from the 3 realms, unrestrained by the 5 elements. Train the liver with wood, the clan leader said. Our spirit ruins are the best birthplace for liver Qi. Son-in-law, first enter my Shenmu heart acupoint. The heaven-reaching divine tree, the foremost of the world's 4 miraculous trees. Lin Zaiasu stepped into the deepest part in one go. With the Shenmu as the foundation, his wood Tao rules were comprehended at a speed visible to the naked eye. On the 3rd day within the wood heart acupoint, thousands of flowers bloomed. His wood Tao rules reached the Tao flower realm. On the 7th day, the Tao flower formed Tao fruit. The wood rules are high level. They are ultimately not law. Before his heart mirror, the speed of deciphering was unparalleled. However, forming the Tao fruit is not the end. The end is 5 element smoke. The smoke born from 5 element smoke is Tao Qi, liver Qi. This wisp of smoke, extraordinarily difficult. Outside, half Tao mountain. Chaos of the heart Tao of the past gradually cooled down. 81 high-level elders, faces pale, looked at the rolling clouds and fog below, baffled and without plan. The heart Tao was extinguished. Extinguished is only the Tao. They still persist. The 8 great heavenly gang of the abyss could not directly eliminate all members of the heart Tao line. Otherwise, the abyss would no longer be the abyss, but a common sect participating in worldly vendetta. Though the Tao is deceased, yet the people survive without the Taoist lord or half-Taoist master, without the beam halfway in the sky. Their future is bleak. At this moment, a familiar force emanated from the depths of a valley. The great elder's face changed suddenly, the aura of the Taoist lord. Go down. Whoosh. The 81 high-level elders descended simultaneously into the abyss. Within the abyss, a colossal 6-eared left holder was found, its body covered in scars, yet a peculiar lotus flower hung above its head, an 8-petal green lotus. The moonlight of the 8-petal green lotus danced. Threads of moonlight imbued with unfathomable mystical mechanisms seeped into the body of the 6-eared left holder, repairing the scars on its body at a visibly rapid pace. Moon Lotus, the great elder's mouth burst open widely. Sun lotus leads to death, moon lotus leads to life. The second elder exclaimed in disbelief. The Taoist lord obtained the moon lotus from the scattered heavens. He's not fallen. Hurry, protect the Taoist lord into the heart abyss. The great elder waved his hand. The six-eared left holder was sent into a peculiar abyss. Just as he entered the abyss, his eyes slowly opened, quietly gazing at the 81 faces full of excitement in front of him. The Taoist lord returns from calamity, our Tao is saved. The great elder's voice choked with emotion. In these few days, it's been absolute torment for him. The entire heart Tao shattered with the Taoist lord's death, seemingly on the verge of collapsing. But now with the Taoist lord overcoming calamity and reborn, he was truly moved. I have cultivated for 7,000 years, and now I truly understand that cultivation must follow the heavenly Tao. Since the heavenly Tao has excluded my Tao position, then follow it. From now on, there is only the heart path and no heart Tao. His voice was infinitely weary. Yes, all the elders bowed in unison. The Tao excluded, the path remains. This too is following the heavenly Tao. As elders, they naturally hope to break through the path into Tao. But if this entering Tao required bearing such significant risk, then taking a step back and pursuing the second best is also feasible. All of you leave. I need to reshape the physical body and regather divine skills. All the elders exited in unison. In the heart abyss, only the six-eared left holder remained. It slowly stood up, its form slowly transforming into a human figure. This person, his figure lean and refined, was Lin Huayang. The moon lotus gently moved, and a phantom appeared out of thin air, precisely Yu Ying. Yu Ying, we have returned. Lin Huayang's lips carried a hint of mysterious smile. Indeed, who could have thought that you, teacher, being one of the slain corpses, could truly replace the master body? Yu Ying said. Among countless who have attempted to slay Tao, you should be the first to successfully counterattack. A single sentence unveiled an absolute secret and revealed a legend across the heavens. Lin Huayang himself was one of the Taoist lord's 3 corpses. The Taoist lord slew the 3 corpses and slew him. Yet he did not die. Being one of the 3 corpses, he was inherently opposed to the master body. With the heart Tao Taoist lord alive, he couldn't stand in the sunlight. So, entering the ancient wilderness, his ultimate goal was to kill the heart Tao Taoist Lord Hongfei. Originally, his plan was destined to fail. For the heart Tao Taoist Lord, what did a mere hall master of Zhen Heaven Pavilion in a dynasty count for? However, the unimaginable transition began with Lin Ziasu. Lin Ziasu collaborated with Kangyun, killed the heart Tao Taoist Lord. Lin Huayang could then easily reach out and pluck the fresh peach. Victory came from timing, from understanding the psyche. With heart Tao destroyed and without leadership, they urgently needed a backbone, and he simply needed to exude the primitive aura and wait for the high-level elders to send him into the heart abyss. Lin Huayang swapped roles, borrowing a corpse for a soul return. Heart Tao was revitalized. As long as it doesn't self-destruct by insisting on establishing a new Tao, it can survive. With heart Tao's upheaval set aside for now, let's talk about spirit ruins. In the wood heart acupoint of the spirit ruins, a month had passed. 2 months had passed. Saintess Kaian Ling appeared in the wood heart acupoint carrying a tray with wine, dishes, and fruits. Just as she stepped in, a wisp of light smoke arose in the wood heart acupoint. Saintess Kaian Ling's heart trembled violently. In a timeline with only more than a year left, requiring him to start from scratch to comprehend the 5 elements, achieving the great Tao emitting smoke, this itself completely exceeded the basic laws of the cultivation path, but the fate of 14 billion lives compelled him to take this step. She felt heartache, but what other choice was there? And now 2+ months have passed. What did she see? The great Tao emitted smoke. His liver chi had already appeared. Husband. Lin Ziasu slowly turned back, a smile on his face, yes, a very clear smile. The day he stepped down into Kangyun, he admitted his heart was somewhat chaotic. It was because he could not see the future sky. He doubted whether man triumphs over heaven could really prevail. But now, comprehending the wood rules, nurturing the liver chi to formation, he felt the future sky has brightened. In over 2 months' time, he succeeded in the wood element rules, one of the 5 elements. If all goes smoothly, the remaining 4 elements might also succeed. Long-lost confidence returned again, returning with the wisp of smoke. The familiar Lin Ziasu returned. Are we having wine today? Did you know I would succeed today? Lin Zaiasu laughed. How could I dare hope any other cultivator, never able to comprehend great Tao amidst smoke in a lifetime, could my husband comprehend it in 2+ months? So today's wine is not a celebration wine. Today is New Year's Eve, Saintess Kaian Ling said. On New Year's Eve, Lin Zaiasu laughed. Then how about going out to celebrate? He extended his hand, held Saintess Kaian Ling's waist. With one step out, before the divine wood illusion, he and Saintess Kaian Ling simultaneously appeared in her room. It was already late at night, warm like spring on the peak. But outside the peak, the Shanghu was drifting with snow. St. Lake's shore covered in white. 1,000 miles frozen, 10,000 miles of snow drifting, Lin Zaiasu sighed. Saintess Kaian Ling's gaze fell on her husband. Count the heroic figures, only look at today. Right, husband. In the garden spring, snow were words she read in a collection of poetry, quoting it now felt especially resonant. The great momentum of heaven and earth stirs, a true era of heroes, and her husband is the last fortress of that time. Since my wife says I'm romantic, then tonight I must live up to such a name. Lin Zaiasu raised his hand, downed a cup of wine, and in the next moment embraced Saintess Kaian Ling, turning the atmosphere from lecturing on world affairs and composing stirring words. Ah, you wicked husband, you should eat some food. I washed the dishes just for you. What need is there for a dish from washed hands? What I care about is being served with a veil draped. During this romantic interlude, Saintess Kaian Ling was extraordinarily happy in demeanor. Her happiness was not just from the physical impact. She was delighted that her dashing, carefree husband seemed to have walked out from under a heavy mountain. The snacks on New Year's Eve were sampled indefinitely, until eventually, Saintess Kaian Ling blew away her stray strands of hair, murmuring to him, "Father has planned your future path." "Oh, tell me more." "Earth Chi, you can obtain it from the underworld. Water Chi, you may get at the Dragon Sect. Gold Chi, ideally from the Demon Ruins, though I personally don't recommend it. Perhaps you could try the ancient Divine Ruins, and Fire Chi, without doubt. The best place is the heavenly capital's Tianyan River." Father-in-law, with his experience spanning millions of years, naturally his plan is flawless, Lin Zaiasu replied. It's not just his millions of years' experience. He's also read countless ancient texts. Saintess Kaian Ling added, "Lately, Father has been buried in piles of ancient texts, forgetting even about cultivation." "How can I repay father-in-law's genuine devotion?" Lin Zaiasu mused. "I suppose by taking good care of his daughter." "Ah, despite what he's done for you, you treat his daughter harshly, you heartless little scoundrel." Though the words carried some reproach, her actions did not falter. Adding drama to her own play, she eagerly initiated another round. The next day, on the first day of the Lunar New Year, Lin Zaiasu paid New Year's respects to his father-in-law. At the same time, he bid farewell to father-in-law. The new year had begun. There was no smoke or wine, no idle chatter, only him alone embarking on a westward journey. For each turn of the year signifies the ruthless passage of time's scale upon the timeline. Only a year and a half remained until that ultimate moment. He had many things to attend to. The 4 Chi awaiting blossoming. The human emperor true skill awaiting perfection. Cultivation awaiting to reach perfection. Only under all perfect conditions could he truly enter the ideal realm of 3 flowers gathering at the top, 5 Chi return to origin. And only in such a realm would the entire desolate ancient realm acknowledge his existence, including Kangyuan. This westward journey target, Dragon Sect. Dragon Sect is the ideal place for water Chi. Westward for 10,000 miles, there lies a great sea known as the Ancient Dragon Pond. An ancient and time-worn crossing, called Crossing Dragon Gate. Gale winds howled, snow flurried on the first day of the Lunar New Year, cold and freezing. A figure clad in snow walked through the snow, gracefully arriving at Crossing Dragon Gate, stepping on the ground. The fog at Crossing Dragon Gate parted in all directions. An ancient, time-worn atmosphere came rushing in. Within the ancient dragon pond, not a trace of New Year's spirit was felt, a fierce sea battle ongoing. Unheard giant sea beast leapt from the water, causing towering waves. A group of magical races from ancient times, rising from the dragon boat, fighting back with their bare bodies. Boom! A beast in the air shattered with a punch, flesh and blood covering the sky. Well, the sea split open, revealing a snow-white belly of a sea demon amidst the crack. With a swish, A figure in red broke through the air, with a long howl resonating across 4 seas, her figure suddenly expanding into a 1,000-foot magic body, hands parted. A golden light flooded the heavens. A 100-foot giant snake was torn in two. Her foot landed, and the newly leapt giant octopus from the sea turned to blood pulp. On the dragon boat, ding-dong. A string of musical notes played. Around the sea, countless little bubbles emerged. Within the bubbles, countless miniature sea monsters were torn apart by the eerie sound waves. The one playing the zither was a woman, gentle and serene, an extreme contrast to the lady in the sky. If Lin Zaiasu were to observe, he would be surprised to recognize her as an old acquaintance.